On a beautiful fall Saturday afternoon in Oxford, Ohio, we welcome you to Yager Stadium on the campus of Miami University for a MAC matchup between cross-divisional rivals. The second annual Bill Mallory Cup will take place this afternoon at Yager Stadium in Oxford between the Miami RedHawks, who come in 2-4, and the Northern Illinois Huskies, who also come in 2-4. The Huskies coming off a 39-26 win at Ohio on Saturday. Before that, a 27-20 loss at home against Ball State. The RedHawks coming off a very bad loss, a 38-16 fall at Western Michigan last week. Patrick Geshan and Josiah Collins with you here at Yager Stadium. And Josiah, a game last week for Miami they want to forget. What is the biggest adjustment they have to make between that game and this game this afternoon to be successful against the Huskies?
You know, I think a lot of the things that they have to do, remember what they did good in that game. They started off that game extremely strong. Sam Sloman got out to two good kicks early on in the game, got him out to a 6-0 lead. Then after the first interception by Brett Gabbert, everything kind of went downhill. So from there, I think that you want to see this team build off of that fresh start from last week. They've had a lot of really good starts early on in the season, but they haven't been able to finish. So I think Coach Martin really wants them to focus on finishing this week, really making sure they keep playing with that intensity throughout every single drive, every single snap. So I think if they start doing that this week, they have a very good chance of beating this team.
We saw a game against Buffalo the week before in which the RedHawks offense was lights out. They played great. What was the difference between the offense of the Buffalo game and the offense of the Western Michigan game?
I think after that first interception last week against Western Michigan, you saw Brett Gabbert kind of second-guessing himself a lot. That first interception really took him out of the rhythm. It took him out of everything that he wanted to do. And from there, he really couldn't recover all game. But then against Buffalo, you saw that the team, they really had a balanced attack going. They had Jalen Bester running the football. They had Brett Gabbert throwing the football. So if you have that balanced attack, you should be in a very good position. So they have to focus on balance and not focusing on too much of one thing.
All right, Northern Illinois just got the coin toss. They are going to catch the ball, I believe, to begin the football game. Couldn't really hear the referee's announcement there. It's Cancer Awareness Weekend here at Miami, so the RedHawks are in their home red jerseys with the white trim, and the helmets are special. One side of the helmet has the player's number. The other has a ribbon with the M logo, and the ribbon is a different color for each player, representing a type of cancer that has impacted them personally, whether they've lost a friend or family member to it or know somebody that has that kind of cancer. Kind of a special edge to this weekend, Josiah. Also, family weekend in Oxford. Lots of stuff going on, and we're expecting a nice atmosphere today.
It's going to be electric down on the field. I know these players are excited to have everybody here watching them. They're ready to go.
All right, Northern Illinois is wearing their away white jerseys with black numbers on the front and back. They also have black helmets. As the Huskies come in trying to gain traction in the MAC West, they are fifth in their division after winning it last year, and they are the defending MAC champions. They won that game 30-29 against Buffalo last year, the RedHawks' last home opponent. And the NIU Huskies falling in the Boca Raton Bowl last year, a 37-13 loss against UAB. The RedHawks 1-1. They're second in the MAC East, just one win behind Kent State. And a win today could help them keep great pace in the division as we march toward the end of the conference football season. Hard to believe already, but Miami has just 4 games remaining after this. They'll go to Ohio, or to Kent State rather, next Saturday. Then they'll go to Ohio. As Sam Sloman will get the ball here on the tee for the RedHawks at the 35-yard line. They are going to move right to left across your radio. Northern Illinois will get the catch, and they're going to move into the sun from left to right. So Sloman is back at the 25-yard line. He'll go up 10 yards and kick the ball off, and we are underway here in Oxford, and Sloman's kick is a home run out the back of the end zone, and Northern Illinois will start offensively from their own 25. We'll get to see number 12, Ross Bowers, the Huskies quarterback for the first time today. The senior 6'2", 200 out of Bothell, Washington. Last week, 23 for 39, 1 interception, 338 yards, and a touchdown in the game against Ohio. And a Northern Illinois offense that really prefers the pass game, Josiah. 341 pass yards last week to 169 rush yards.
So for that, you just take away what they want to do best. You take away all the receivers, make the quarterback really beat you by being a smart player, make your defense tackle, fill the holes on the running game, and then you can get off the field. You have to get off the field on third down. You cannot continue to give up conversions.
So the first handoff will be a run up the middle, and the ball carrier that time, Trey Harbison, number 22 in white for Northern Illinois. He's a 5'11", 215 redshirt junior out of Shelby, North Carolina. 25 attempts for 113 yards last week. He had 3 touchdowns. Pick up a 5 on the plate, sets up a 2nd and 5 from the left hash on the 30. I formation for Bowers, a receiver on either side. It's Harbison that dots the I. Bowers back for a pass, fired it over the middle on a quick slant route, and that time the target Spencer Tears, but way over his head. He didn't know the ball was coming his way. 3rd and 5 coming up.
This is going to be an important early down for the defense. I think they're really going to have a chance to show themselves here, get a stop early on, get their offense on the field.
So the RedHawks here, well, yep, like you mentioned, could have a very big stop. Very good family weekend crowd. Most of the sections on our side of the field, the press box side, are filled up, and the student section is getting kind of rowdy as well. And we had some movement before the play. Some flags come out.
Both sides playing at each other.
Oh, of course. And the RedHawks will give up an offside here, and that is not what you want to do on a 3rd and 5 in Northern Illinois. Fresh set of downs.
That's what you cannot afford if you're Miami today. You cannot beat yourself on mental errors. That's not even a flag that's in the field of play. You're just doing that before the snap. So you have to make sure that you're disciplined, making sure that you're not giving up any easy first downs like that.
So they're on the left hash again, as Bowers has 2 receivers right and 1 to the left. Harbison is 2 right in the backfield. Harbison will get the handoff up the left side. He'll get across the 40 and be tackled down at the 41. Pickup of 6 on the play will set up a 2nd down and 4. 45 seconds into this first quarter.
They're giving up a lot of big gains on the first down play. That's how you set up the pass game. You get 5 or 6 yards on a first down run, then you can set up the pass, take a shot if you want to. So if you're Miami, you want to stop that early on run.
So the ball on the left hash still. It'll be a 2nd and 4 from the Northern Illinois 41. 3 receivers right in a bunch formation. Bowers hands off to Harbison, but he's eaten up at the line, and he will be tackled down at about the 39. It's going to set up a loss on the play from Northern Illinois, and it will be a 3rd down and 5 coming up from the 40.
Another chance to get off the field coming up.
So the RedHawks this time don't want to give up an offside call, as they'll ring that 3rd down bell here at Miami, and Northern Illinois on the huddle will break with 20 on the play clock. 3rd and 5, the ball between the hashes, but more toward the left side of the field. Bowers has 2 receivers right. A man in the backfield is Harbison. That's to his left. A man moves across the field. It's a wide receiver, Cole Tucker. A pass to the far side is that time the running back, Trey Harbison, became a receiver out of the backfield. Ross Bowers targeted him, and undefended was Trey Harbison, but he dropped the pass, and they're going to go off the field here. The punt team on for Northern Illinois. So it'll be 4th and 5 after a drop pass from Harbison. Punt team on here for the Huskies. It's going to be number 36, Matt Ferentz, who gets a high kickoff to the returner, Maurice Thomas. Thomas at the 13, dodges a tackle on his ankle. He's going to move up the middle of the field, and he dodged about 2 more tackles before being brought down at the Miami 18-yard line. And that is where the RedHawks will begin drive number 1 offensively on the game, and we'll get to see freshman quarterback Brett Gabbert, who last week went 26 for 45, threw 3 interceptions in the game at Western Michigan, no touchdowns in the air, and 260 yards passing as well.
If you're Chuck Martin, I think you want to really see what he's made of this drive. You want to try and balance it out a little bit. Not too much pass, not too much run, but you really want to get him some confidence going early.
So on the first play, Gabbert will have 3 receivers to his right and 1 to his left, and there's a man in the backfield, and going to be a play action here over the middle. A pass looking for Dominique Robinson, but Robinson was standing at the left hash when the ball intended for him was thrown toward the numbers on the field.
Bit of a miscommunication there.
Quick slant play and incomplete. 2nd and 10 is coming up, as the RedHawks looking for a pass play on play number 1 offensively of the game. As that time the center going up to the line for Miami knocked the ball off its placement on the field. The referee spotted the ball at the 18, and the center came up and kicked it away.
Might be a little bit of jitters early on for this team.
Who knows? 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Weird backfield formation for Miami. They had 2 men to the right of Gabbert. It's going to be a handoff, and being tackled down with just about no gain for the RedHawks is going to be number 1, Jalen Bester, who in the running back column, Josiah, has been huge for Miami in recent games.
The running game is huge, especially when you have a young quarterback like Gabbert. So if you could get the running game going early on, then that can really set up the pass down the line. We haven't been able to do that on this drive, but now you have a 3rd and long, so you got to see if they can pick up this first down.
3rd and 12 from the 16. Gabbert claps once.
Sees the blitz coming.
To the sideline, yep. Does this a lot. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. 2 men in the backfield on the left side, off the line. Gabbard empty backfield now. Go back for a pass, and he throws it over the middle, and I believe it was a catch. Jalen Walker brought it in for the RedHawks past the 30. They're going to put him at the 31-yard line, and a little slant play that time will be enough for a Miami first down.
Great effort by Walker to go down there and get the ball.
So Jalen Walker, who last week had just 2 catches for 9 yards, surpasses that total already with a pickup of 15 on the catch that time. 1st and 10 from the 31 on the right hash. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Gabbard. He clapped once, and Northern Illinois moved. And 3 flags on the field now.
See who it's on.
It's actually a false start against the RedHawks, and that's going to push him back 5.
Once again, you cannot have mental errors.
So that is the second line of scrimmage penalty against Miami today. Not even 4 minutes in. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Gabbard standing, will clap once, look to the sideline. Looks like he's got Bester in the backfield next to him to his left. 10 on the play clock. Now Bester moves into an I formation behind Gabbard. And it will be a handoff to Bester, trying to push his way up the middle. He got pushed toward the near side of the field, tackled down around the 26. And it will be no gain on a 1st down and 15 for Miami.
Not very many holes for the running back to run through going on right now.
So Jalen Bester has been the running back of choice the past few weeks. He's going to march out the field and sit out this play. In the beginning of the year, it was usually Maurice Thomas or Tyree Shelton that was targeted, but Bester's been the go-to guy the past few weeks against Western Michigan and Buffalo especially. 3 receivers left on 2nd and 15 from the 26.
Might be another blitz coming.
Robinson moves to the far side. He'll be a receiver there. So now they got 2 on the left and 1 on the right. Handoff in the backfield. No play action to Shelton. Gabbard airs it out far side of the field and just out of the reach of Dominic Robinson. Good defense down there by Northern Illinois' number 11, Trayshawn Foster, the safety. Did just enough to prevent a pass interference penalty, but it was a long throw that time from Gabbard and out of the reach of Robinson.
Yeah, on that play, he did a really nice job. There was hand fight going on, so a good no call by the referee in that case.
So now RedHawks will face a 3rd and 15. They're 1 for 1 on the 3rd downs today. They're on their own 26. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left for Gabbard. He's got a man in his backfield to the right. That's Bester. Bester gets the handoff up the near side of the field, finds some room along the sideline, and Jalen Bester out of bounds at the 37. Will not be enough for the 1st down. He's about 2 yards short. Good effort that time by Jalen Bester, and special teams will come on here for the RedHawks.
Smart play by Martin. It might not be the play that Brett Gabbard wanted to run, but it got him some yards, got him out of backed up territory a little bit.
Kyle Kramer will be on a punt for Miami. Last week, 6 punts, averaging 47 yards each. And back to return Cole Tucker for the Huskies, 6'2", 190, redshirt sophomore out of DeKalb, Illinois. Long punt for Kramer. Fair catch called for at the 17-yard line on Northern Illinois end of the field, and that is where the Huskies will begin drive number 2 on the afternoon with 10:10 to go in quarter number 1. And I believe we will get a media timeout after this. So the RedHawks and Huskies each trade a drive. They both have some 3rd down trouble, and so far the offense hasn't quite gotten going yet for either team. We'll be back. You listen to Miami Football on Red Hawk Radio. 10-10 to go, first quarter. Northern Illinois will march on the field for offensive drive number 2 on the afternoon. Patrick Geshan, Josiah Collins back with you here at Yager Stadium in Oxford. It is a beautiful fall Saturday afternoon in Oxford, Ohio. And a big crowd on hand at Yager Stadium today for family weekend. Couldn't ask for any better weather today. Fair skies in the area, sunny, not too hot, about mid-60s. First play here for Ross Bowers will be a handoff up the middle, and Trey Harbison will pick up about 4. Maybe less than that. He probably got 2 or 3 actually on the rush up the right hash. On 1st and 10, we got a Northern Illinois player down. So they will stop the clock for that, and lots of trainers will run onto the field. We can't get a number on this player as they were on him very quickly. So far, Josiah, a drive for either team offensively. What are your thoughts on Miami's offense here after that last drive?
I see there's still a lot of mistakes going on early on in the drive. You see they had a false start early on, gets them in a 2nd and 15 situation. They can't really recover from that. Then you see on the defensive side they give up a first down by jumping off sides on a 3rd down play. So you got to have to make sure that you clean up a bit of those mental errors. But after that, keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna slow down this Northern Illinois team, and then on the offensive side, just keep moving the ball. Be balanced. Keep moving the ball.
Injured player for Northern Illinois was number 61, Ben Olson. He was a defensive end, and he was able to walk off the field on his own power. And actually, we're going to get another media timeout out of this, so they will take that here after the injury. So 10 minutes exactly to go in the first quarter. A 2nd and 8 is coming up for Northern Illinois, and we'll step aside for just a moment. Miami football on Red Hawk Radio. So we're exactly 5 minutes into the game. No score between Miami and Northern Illinois on the football field. As the Huskies in the middle of drive number 2 here, they're going to have a 2nd down and 8 coming up from the 19-yard line. Video board tribute going for Bill Mallory, and this is a new rivalry series the RedHawks are in. It's called the Mallory Cup between them and Northern Illinois, and they will meet annually. This is the 2nd straight year. Bill Mallory, head coach at both programs, and he won MAC championships at each. Bowers here will throw far side of the field. It's going to be a catch brought in by the Huskies, and it might be a first down, although it looks like they're a yard short. As it looks like for Northern Illinois, the catch was made by Dennis Robinson, a wide receiver, and it will be a 3rd and 1 from their own 26.
Northern Illinois really picked up that blitz nicely, allowed the quarterback to get out, hit the guy on the numbers.
So first catch of the day for Dennis Robinson. And the Huskies will need 1 yard here to pick up a first down from their own 26.
Miami showing pressure.
Receiver on either side here for Bowers, who claps once he gets the snap. Handoff up the middle, a run for Trey Harbison. He will get plenty of distance out to the 32-yard line. It's going to be a pickup there of about 6, and Northern Illinois will move the chains for the first time on the drive. Crowd continues to come in, and the press box side of the stands is filling up pretty nicely. Not a big student section today, just a lot of people sitting on that far side of the field. family weekend, so it's time to spend with the family.
A lot of activities going on this weekend.
Of course. As Bowers will hand off to Harbison on a 1st and 10. He's up the left hash, and the RedHawks can't get him down. He will pick up about 5.
The running backs of Northern Illinois, they're really keeping their feet moving, their legs moving on every single run. That's allowing them to get a few extra yards on each carry.
Yeah, that second effort, they've been using that a lot today. 2nd and 5 for Harbison, and Northern Illinois will have that much distance for the first down on their own 37. Clock is moving with 8:03 to go in the first quarter. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left for Bowers. Harbison will dot the I formation in the backfield. And it will be a handoff to Harbison here
play.
up the left side. He broke through the tackles and is out across the 50. RedHawks safeties had to tackle him, but you're right, a flag on the near side of the field at the 35 of Northern Illinois.
That was thrown as soon as the ball was snapped.
So maybe the play won't even count. Get our call here.
Offside. Defense number 95 lined up in the neutral zone. And penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
And once again, you're doing something lining up in the neutral zone on a 2nd down and 5 that time, just giving up another first down. It's way too easy.
So the undisciplined penalties for the RedHawks so far have been killing them, as that is their 6th penalty for 25 yards today.
You saw a similar thing against Western Michigan last weekend when they started getting down in that hole. They just started committing way too many mental errors.
Harbison here got a handoff up the left side on a 1st and 10. He picked up 2. And so it'll be a 2nd and 8 here coming up for Northern Illinois. RedHawks here are going to need a stop as the Huskies now at the RedHawk 49, so they are into Miami territory. Bunch formation with 3 receivers on the right for Bowers. He's got a man to his right in the backfield. That's Harbison. Harbison will get a cross handoff here, move toward the far side, but Miami meets him before he even got to the line, and Harbison sent back 2 yards, and the Huskies will have a 3rd and 10 coming up back in their own territory. It will be on
Perfect
their own
chance to
49.
get off the field right now. Perfect chance. 3rd and 10. Perfect long distance situation. Get your defense off the field here if you're Miami.
So that 3rd down bell will ring here with 6:33 to go in the first quarter. 3 receivers on the right, 1 to the left here for Bowers, with a man to his right in the backfield, and that is Harbison again. 3rd down and 10.
Showing pressure.
Bowers claps once, empty backfield, passes far side, and it's going to be incomplete.
No flags.
Spencer Tears, the intended target, 6'1", 195, redshirt senior out of Chicago, who made a little hook route there and would have been enough for the first down if he brought in the catch, but good defense there by the RedHawks. Number 5, Emmanuel Ragumba, the defensive back, and will send him off the field on a 3rd and 10.
Coming up on this drive, you want to see Miami's offense give the defense a bit of a break. You don't want to keep having the ball trade field position like this.
So on a punt is Ferentz, making his 2nd of the day. It's a high punt that goes out the far sideline. So no return that time for Maurice Thomas. And the referee still marching up that far sideline. He will stop at the 29. So that is where the RedHawks will begin their next drive from their own 29 with 6:10 to go here in the first quarter, and we will get a timeout. So still no score between Miami and Northern Illinois. Both teams trying to get their offense going, and RedHawks will get the ball when we return. It's Miami football on Red Hawk Radio. Yager Stadium, Oxford, Ohio. Patrick Geshan and Josiah Collins with you here. No score on the gridiron between Miami and Northern Illinois on Family Weekend in Oxford. Mid-60s, sunny, fair skies, a little bit of a breeze, but we're not complaining.
Great starting field position if you're Miami, starting up by the 30.
Yep, they're on their own 30. Brett Gabbard claps once with two receivers left, one to the right. It's going to be a handoff instead, and up the middle, Bester got hit hard. Got to the 31 and then driven back after that, and it will be a pickup of just one for the RedHawks.
Blockers couldn't really get a push on that play. Things kind of just collapsed in on Bester that time.
So they will line up quickly. The no-huddle offense will continue for the RedHawks. Two receivers right, one to the left. Bester in the backfield next to Gabbard. Gabbard claps twice with the snap. Back to throw. He will fire over the middle, and being hit before he could grab the pass was the intended target for the RedHawks, number 8.
On that one, I'm kind of surprised there wasn't a flag.
Yeah, Blake was at the left hash. The ball came in, and he got taken down before the ball came his direction. 3rd and 9 for the RedHawks from their own 31 is coming up. And we'll have two receivers right and one to the left. Gabbard with a man in the backfield. It looks like that might be Davian Johnson. Waits for the snap with 10 on the play clock. Finally gets it off. Empty backfield for Gabbard. Throws over the middle. Dominic Robinson. It came in and out of his hands. And good defense by Northern Illinois' number 12, the cornerback Devin Haney. Able to knock that one free as Dominic Robinson could bring in the catch. RedHawks are 3 and out.
If you're Miami, you cannot keep having these types of drives. That time you only take off about 20 to 30 seconds off the clock of game time. So now your defense has to go right back out there. And that's how Miami gets into so many of their holes that we've seen in these 4 losses that they've had this year.
Just some anemic offensive play from the RedHawks so far as we are getting into the later stages of the first quarter. High punt from Kyle Kramer will sit down at the 37. It will bounce into the hands of Cole Tucker, who's now up the far sideline and finally brought down by the RedHawks number 3, Mike Brown. And so Northern Illinois will begin their drive from their own 24 on a decent return from Cole Tucker. So the RedHawks defense out there again.
RedHawks defense probably going to have to put some points on the board.
Would be nice. Bowers back out on the field for the Huskies. He's 1 for 4 today for 7 yards. Quarterback rating of just 39.7. He's got two receivers right and one to the left. Harbison in the backfield will move to Bowers right. Bowers play action over the middle. There's a catch. As picking up the pass was Cole Tucker, the returner. He is going to get a first down on a pickup of 10. A nice catch by Cole Tucker. First time he was targeted today. Will pick up the first down for the Huskies. And that will be first down number 3 for them today. So two receivers right and one to the left. Bowers with an I formation. Harbison dots the I. Claps twice with a snap. Now hands off. Harbison up the left side. Going toward the far sideline and can never quite get a path forward. He's brought down at the 35 after a gain of 1, and 2nd and 9 will be next for the Huskies.
That was a good play by the defense that time. You push the running back all the way to the sideline. Make sure there's really nowhere else he can go except down.
So Northern Illinois taking their time on offense, unlike the RedHawks. 20 on the play clock, and they will line up. 3 receivers on the left. With the ball on the left hash here, I formation. Harbison dots the I. Handoff here will go to Harbison. He is up the left hash, stumbles across the 40, pickup of about 6. And it's going to be a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3 officially coming up for Northern Illinois from their own 41. So we'll see if they go to the air or the ground here, Josiah.
Either one has been pretty effective for them so far. They've kind of been able to get what they want in these short yardage situations. So this is going to be a good test for Miami's defense to try and get them off the field.
2 receivers right, 2 to the left here for Bowers. RedHawks have 4 men rushing on defense. Bowers claps twice, gets the snap. He's going to keep it up the middle, and Bowers is going to get the first down. Stumbling across the 45-yard line, just 1 yard there to get enough for the first down, and the chains will move for Northern Illinois, and a good option in the first keep of the day for Ross Bowers.
Defensive end completely lost contain on the quarterback that time, just lets him go free for a first down.
The RedHawks that time a little lost in the defensive coverage. Looks like they were going to play man on that last play defensively. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left here on 1st and 10 from Northern Illinois 45. Bowers claps twice, gets off the snap, fires a little pass far side, and it's a catch. And getting pushed out of bounds was the receiver Mitchell Brinkman. He's going to pick up about 7 from Northern Illinois on a little slant play there. And the 6'3", 250 redshirt junior out of Council Bluffs, Iowa with his first completion of the day.
And something that we keep seeing from this Northern Illinois team is a short pass that lets the receiver end up doing most of the work. The quarterback gets the ball out of his hands in maybe 2-3 seconds. Receiver does the rest of the work, gets the ball upfield.
So it'll be a 2nd and 3 as they're now into the RedHawks end of the field. It will be on the Miami 48. One receiver to the left and 2 to the right. Going to bring the man over from the left side as the handoff now to Harbison up the left hash. Gets to the Miami 45. It took 4 RedHawks to bring him down. And Trey Harbison will pick up 4 on the run, enough for another first down, and Northern Illinois keeps pushing downfield here on this drive.
And that's just weight room right there. I mean, the running back runs right into the defender. He keeps trucking his legs along, and that pushes the defender backwards, and he loses his spot, ends up needing help to bring down the runner.
Kind of need to wake up on defense, especially this run attack for Northern Illinois. Again, they passed it a lot last week. Bowers had 39 pass attempts.
Some early fatigue might also be setting in. This is their 3rd time on the field. Red Hawk offense has not been able to stay on the field.
Bowers an near side pass, and it's a one-handed catch by Cole Tucker. He makes it at the 10 and is out of bounds at the near sideline at the 5-yard line. Cole Tucker with a highlight reel one-handed grab with the right arm. Got past the defender. 1st and goal for the Huskies at the 5.
Travion Banks just did not get his head around on that play. He just lets the receiver just look the ball all the way in that time.
They have no huddle. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, and now we will get a whistle here before the snap.
Miami, your first of the half, 30 seconds away.
And the RedHawks had no idea what happened on that play. And defensively, they were miscommunicating all over the place. Chuck Martin will call a timeout after a tremendous catch by Cole Tucker, the 6'2", 190 redshirt sophomore, playing for his hometown team out of DeKalb, Illinois.
And that time you saw there were 12 men on the field for the defense. They could not get them off of time. Chuck Martin had to use a timeout.
So just a tremendous catch by Cole Tucker, who was running down the far side, the near sideline rather. The ball barely past him. He was able to reach out the right arm and then pull his arm to his body with the ball inside of it to make the catch. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of the highlights you'll see tonight on all the shows, is Cole Tucker making a tremendous grab to put Northern Illinois within striking distance here with 1:39 to go in the first quarter.
And if you
use their first timeout.
And if you're Travion Banks, there's no way that you could just not get your head around on that type of play. Ball's coming deep. You have to turn around, try and make a play on the ball.
So 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. It's an I formation here for Bowers. Gets the snap, fires a screen pass far side. Brought in by Tucker, trying to dodge the defender, but the RedHawks instead will shove him out of bounds at the far sideline at about the 7-yard line. And it will be a loss in the play for the Huskies, who have 2nd and goal coming up. The ball will be just on the other side of the 5-yard line, so really I feel like a generous spot there, but Huskies theoretically will not lose any ground on the play. Clock moving with 1:07 to go in the first, and then we'll have a 2nd and goal. Formation has 3 receivers right and a bunch. 1 to the left, empty backfield here for Bowers, who gets the snap and fires to the near side, and it's going to be a catch, but a tackle right away. Coming in there for the RedHawks was the defensive back, Mike Brown. The receiver who caught the ball for Northern Illinois was back all the way at the 7-yard line. He made the catch but couldn't go anywhere. Brown was on him just like that.
Brown made that play right away. He read it, knew exactly where the ball was going to go, avoided the block, got the tackle.
So a big stop here for the RedHawks. Could be good for them with 28 seconds to go in the first quarter. It'll be a 3rd and goal from the 7. And the crowd getting kind of loud for this family weekend.
Huskies get on the ball quick.
The receiver on either side. Bowers is back to throw. He's going to air one out
over
far
the
side of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Out of the reach of Spencer Tiers, the wide receiver, and Northern Illinois unable to convert on a 1st and goal from the 5. As that time Bowers trying to go a float pass far side of the end zone. And Spencer Tiers was too far left of the ball to make the catch. The field goal team is on now for the Huskies, and they're going to bring out John Richardson, the redshirt freshman. He was 2 for 4 last week, made a 51-yarder against Ohio, 9 for 12 on the season. This one is going to be a 20-yard attempt, and it is good from the right hash. And so John Richardson will give the Huskies a 3-0 lead with 8 seconds to go in the first quarter. And he has to give up 3 points and a bad catch there to Colt Tucker, Josiah, but for the RedHawks, that's a very good defensive stop. They had first and goal at the 5.
Yeah, that was a great job of bending and not breaking, making sure that you could hold on defense, make sure they can give your offense a chance to come back down the field and score some points.
So the Huskies here are going to kick off with 8 seconds to go in the first. As the RedHawks offense here will now try to give this crowd something to cheer about. By far the largest crowd for a football game this season. As fans are really filling up the stands here along the near side.
I'm still coming in.
Oh, yeah. As fans were tailgating at the Millette parking lot earlier today and still trying to make their way down. Richardson is going to kick off here for the Huskies. Line drive kick is caught by Maurice Thomas at the goal line. He's going to rush it up the right hash. Thomas dodges one defender across the 25. Thomas is gone to the 40. And out across the 50. Maurice Thomas dodges another tackle. Maurice Thomas is pushed out of bounds at the 17-yard line. And the RedHawks will have it. First and 10 at their Northern Illinois 17. Maurice Thomas with a wonderful return. Dodged about 5 tackles on his way down the field. And that gets this crowd on their feet for the first time today.
And that's a great way to end the first quarter.
The quarter over, Maurice Thomas caught it at his own goal line. He gets the RedHawks all the way down to the Northern Illinois 15. So an 85-yard return for Maurice Thomas on that. And it's a great way to end the first quarter here from Oxford. So Northern Illinois gets a field goal on the last drive. But the RedHawks here will threaten deep in Northern Illinois territory when we return. They get the ball back for offensive drive number 3. You're listening to Miami Football on Red Hawk Radio. Patrick Geshan, Josiah Collins back with you here at Yager Stadium in Oxford. As the Miami RedHawks about to begin their third offensive drive of the day, and it will come from the Northern Illinois 14-yard line. Josiah, they're going to have a first and 10. What do the RedHawks need to do to put in the goal put it past the goal line.
You have to execute right now. You have to make sure all of your plays, they're run effectively. If you have blockers that are doing a run play, you need to make sure they get a good push off the line of scrimmage to start. If you're doing a pass play, you need to make sure your receivers can break off of the cornerback, get a nice route going. You can do a slant, curl, something like that that's a quick route for the quarterback to get out.
So the ball will be on the right hash here. They're going to have 2 receivers left and 1 to the right. And in the backfield, standing next to Brett Yager, is going to be Jalen Bester.
There's a cushion on the right side of the field over there. Make sure that you can use that if you can.
20 on the play clock. Clapping once is Gabbert. Back for a play action. Near side of the end zone. Dominic Robinson tipped it. Jumping up trying to get the catch, but it goes out of bounds. As Robinson was just a little bit too small. His 6'4" frame not tall enough to bring in the catch.
If you're Brett Gabbert, you have to hit that pass. He's wide open right there in the corner of the end zone. Make sure you just throw a dart right at him.
So they'll try again. 2nd and 10 for the 14. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Gabbert claps once, looks to the sideline. He's got Bester in the backfield with him. It's going to be a handoff here to, an option rather, and Gabbert on the keep is going to move to the near side of the field and be tackled down for a loss of 1. Brett Gabbert on the keep, that time moving toward the near side. Never could push his way forward, and 3rd and 12 now from the 16.
If Miami does not get a touchdown on this drive, that's Northern Illinois taking a victory out of the last few plays here.
3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Gabbert will clap once.
Thank you.
Still looking for the snap. 16 seconds on the play clock. Now he's going to move up to the line and bark instructions, and Jalen Bester, who's in the backfield, will move to the right of Gabbert. 7 on the play clock. Gabbert, little pitch play. Bester up the near side of the 15. He got met there by the defender, tackled out of bounds at the 13. And the RedHawks with a 1st and goal at the 15-yard line will not be able to convert.
That time just a safe play call by Chuck Martin. He just wants to take the points. But that's a win for Northern Illinois because after that return by Maurice Thomas, you would really love to have the ball in the end zone right there.
So Sam Sloman will be on for the field goal here. He was 3 for 4 last week, the longest 51 yards in Kalamazoo, 10 for 11 on the season. This one will be a 29-yard attempt. Kramer the hold, the kick from the right hash is no good. Sam Sloman missed it. Sam Sloman missed the kick wide right, and from our angle we really couldn't tell if it went in or not, but the referees say no good, and Sam Sloman, with the wind blowing from the near side to the far side of the field, may have pushed or hooked that one, and he misses a 29-yarder, and the RedHawks still unable to get any points on the board.
Right now, if you're Northern Illinois, you're extremely happy with where you are right now.
So the RedHawks had a 1st and 10 for the Northern Illinois 15 after an 85-yard return by Maurice Thomas, and they cannot push any points on the board, and it brings us to another media timeout. 13:36 to go here in the 2nd quarter. The Huskies hold on to that 3-0 lead here in Oxford. Oh, never mind, we're not getting a media timeout. Miscommunication that time. They had a whole promotion about to happen, and now they got to clear that off the field, and the players are running back on. Huskies here will be on the left hash from their own 20. 1st and 10. 3 receivers right for Bowers, none to the left. The man in the backfield is Harbison. He will move to Bowers' left. And it's going to be a handoff this time. Actually, never mind. It is Jordan Nettles, number 28. The 5'9", 180 redshirt sophomore out of Romeoville, Illinois, will get his first carry of the game for a gain of 3. But a flag was thrown after the play, and we'll see what this is all about. Flag on the far sideline. What was that?
Couldn't tell what the referee said there that time.
They need a new sound system at Yager Stadium. I'll be very honest. It'll be 2nd and 8. I think he was announcing that there was no foul on the play. So 2 receivers right and 2 to the left. High formation here for Bowers. And it's going to be a handoff and running up the middle for the Huskies. Nettles gets the ball again. He got across the 25 and is all the way out to the 28. That second effort that time from Nettles gave him probably an extra 5 yards.
Injury on the field.
And a RedHawk player is down as the trainers will attend to what looks like a defensive lineman. We can't get the number. It'll be a 3rd down and 3 here for Northern Illinois from the 27. And it will be a media timeout as well, as the intent to the injured Red Hawk is on the field at the 25. We'll get his number and an update on the injury, and the Red Hawks here will try to come up with a 3rd down and 3 stop when we return. You're listening to Miami Football on Red Hawk Radio. The wind really picking up at Yager Stadium over that last media timeout following the injury. The injured Red Hawk player was number 49, Bart Parati, the defensive back for Miami, and that would be a huge loss of defense, as Josiah and I noticed he went right to the medical tent after walking off on his own power from the field. 12:50 to go in the second quarter, 3rd and 2 about to come up for Northern Illinois from their own 28. And Bowers here will get the snap and hand off to Nettles, who will try to push his way to the 30, but the Red Hawks going to stop him short. As actually Harbison on the carry that time for Northern Illinois. And
offense hasn't moved yet, though.
They will say it's going to be a 4th and inches coming up in the 29.
Offense staying on the field, looks like.
They need to get to the 30, and so they are less than a yard there, and Northern Illinois will bring on the punt team instead of going for it. So they will not risk anything now at this point in the game, trying to protect that 3-0 lead with 12:10 to go in the second. And so the punt team on, and Ferentz will make his 3rd appearance of the game for the Huskies.
Miami keeps their defense out there being safe, but put Maurice Thomas in the back as an option.
He's at the 30. It's a line drive punt to the far side of the field. Bounce at the 35. Thomas lets it go, and the ball is still going down at the 15. And that's where it's touched up by the Huskies. Maurice Thomas deciding to leave it alone, and the Huskies there will create the Red Hawks start to the drive at their own 15. 3rd conference game for Miami this afternoon. The other one was at home. The other one at home was against Buffalo a couple weeks ago. Red Hawks, 2 of their next 3 are on the road. They will be at Kent State next Saturday and then at Ohio. And the Kent State game next week is the last Saturday game for the Red Hawks. It's on the schedule. Then we'll move to those Tuesday night on ESPNU MAC games. Thomas got a handoff here from Gabbard. He's pushed all the way back to the Red Hawks 9-yard line.
Blockers are not getting a good push right now. They're just letting Northern Illinois run right through.
They were generous with the forward progress. Maurice Thomas got the handoff at the 15, and he was pushed all the way back to the 9. And the Red Hawks here are going to have a 2nd and 16 deep in their own territory. So we'll see how they try to get out of this hole here. Gabbert will line up with a man to his right in the backfield. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Claps once, brings a man across. Now it's going to be a cross handoff and trying to go up the left hash, but they're not going to get any yards. The ball carry, I believe, that time was Tyree Shelton for Miami, and Red Hawks will pick up no gain on the run. It'll be 3rd and 16 from their own 9.
Huskies have a great contain going on right now. It's really limiting the running game. They're going to make Brett Gabbard win this game throwing the football.
So there will be 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. RedHawks need 16 for a first down. 10:40 to go here in this second quarter. And a nice crowd on family weekend here in Oxford. Gabbert steps up to the line of bark instructions. 7 on the play clock. He will snap and then get the ball off, and a handoff here, and the RedHawks were able to recover it as Jalen Besser is trying to go up the near side of the field, but I think he lost yardage or maybe didn't gain anything at all. As another handoff on 3rd and 16, Josiah, and the run game just not working for Miami. The punt team coming out.
Yeah, the run game is not working at all. I think the Huskies are really trying to make Miami become a one-dimensional team, and I respect Chuck Martin making sure that they stay balanced, but you might need to consider passing the ball in this situation, really trying to get Brett Gabbert going.
Yeah, on a 3rd and 16. So Kyle Kramer will be deep in his own end zone to get this punt off, and Cole Tucker awaiting at midfield for the return. Very high punt for Kramer. It spirals out of bounds at the far sideline, and one of the Northern Illinois coaches is pointing right at the yard line he wants the spot to be, and referee says it went out of bounds at the Miami 43, and that's where Northern Illinois will begin the next drive with some pretty good field position. 9:42 to go in the second quarter. Huskies get it back. They're up 3-0 when we return to Yager Stadium in Oxford. Listening to Miami football on Red Hawk Radio. Back here in Oxford, Patrick Geshan and Josiah Collins with you here from Yager Stadium. Northern Illinois will begin their 6th drive of the game here, as they will begin it with pretty good field position, the best of the day from the Miami 43-yard line.
Momentum really going towards their way right now.
2 receivers to the right and none to the left. The ball on the right hash here for Bowers, who claps once he gets the snap off, and it's a handoff to Harbison, who's up the far sideline, and the RedHawks meet him there, and Trey Harbison will only pick up about 2 or 3 on the rush, and a 2nd and long comes up with 9.5 to go in the second. Well, this big crowd for family weekend hasn't had much to cheer about this afternoon.
Unfortunately not. A lot of stalemates from both sides on the defense.
Officially a gain of 1 for Harbison on the last rush, so it's going to be a 2nd and 9. 2 receivers left, none to the right for Bowers. Harbison dots the I formation in the backfield. Bowers back to throw. He's going to go a slant route to the near side, and it's a catch. Spencer Tears will spin around and get more yardage past the Red Hawk defender, who is number 14, Zedrick Raymond. And Northern Illinois will pick up a first down and a pretty good gain by Spencer Tears.
Too much cushion and poor tackling gives up an easy first down for Northern Illinois.
So the ball will be on the Red Hawk 30-yard line. 8:40 to go here in this second quarter, and the Huskies up 3-0. Clock is moving. One receiver on the right, two to the left here for Bowers. Claps twice, gets off the snap, play action with Harbison, rolls to the far side, still looking for a pass, and it's over the left hand of Cole Tucker. He was running toward the far sideline too, but it's straight up in the air, and the ball went over it.
Northern Illinois might have gotten away with a hold there too. You heard a lot of the fans going in uproar about that.
As if they brought that in, it would have been probably a gain of 10 for Tucker. Second and 10 will come up from the Miami 30 for the Huskies. As this wind, Josiah, begins to pick up again at Yager Stadium.
Could be a real effect in the kicking game.
Well, it might be affecting why these teams aren't passing it much either. I formation here for Bowers. Hands off to Harbison, who is behind him. He's up the left hash, still marching through all the way down to the 10-yard line. Or the 20-yard line, rather, and he will pick up about 9. Not quite enough to move the chains, but it's a very manageable 3rd and 1 coming up.
Short yard situation. You want to make sure this defense gets a stop. You do not want to give up a touchdown in this situation.
8 minutes to go in the second. And the RedHawks here will need to prevent Northern Illinois from just 1 yard, or else they get the
heavy
first
power
down.
set.
RedHawks going to rush 6 men on the line. It's going to be an I formation with no receivers at all, and Bowers will hand right off to Harbison. Nope, never mind. It's a keeper, and Bowers was up the right side. Nobody knew he had the ball. Picks up 2 yards, barely getting across the 20. And a play that fooled everybody on the RedHawks defense and even us. Ross Bowers will get the first down for the Huskies.
And once again, that's just losing contain on the quarterback on an option. You expect everybody to go right towards the middle. RedHawks crash. Northern Illinois goes to the outside.
And Ross Bowers now with 75 pass yards and has picked up 6 rush yards in the day. Not really a running quarterback, but he will if he needs to. Receiver now on the left side for the Huskies, and it's a handoff, and being pushed back is Nettles. He's trying to move forward, but he is going to be tackled all the way back at the Miami 23-yard line, or the 27 actually. As now it's going to be a loss of 8 for the Huskies in 2nd and 18. Nettles got that handoff, and the RedHawks were on him quickly. They weren't able to bring him down, but it is still a loss of 8. And an injured RedHawk player on the field at the Miami 25 far side.
If you're Chuck Martin, you definitely have to be kind of fed up with the amount of missed tackles that have gone on in this game. Yes, they did get him in the backfield this play, but there have been numerous times where they've just missed a tackle, not grabbed a guy all the way, and they've just let them pick up extra yards. That time the play went for a lot longer than it should have.
And so an entourage medical personnel on the far side of the field surrounding the injured player, and we can't identify them. 7:02 is left here in the second quarter, and NIU up 3-0 on Family Weekend, Cancer Awareness Weekend as well. And want to remind you, we're not done after this game here on Red Hawk Radio. Hockey will be tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Red Hawks take on Ferris State in Game 2 of that series. And that'll be on Red Hawk Radio. Luke Westpoli and I will have the call from Goggin tonight, as the hockey team picking up a 4-3 win last night against the Bulldogs, and that is win number 1 on the season for the RedHawks on the ice. Miles Reed was the injured player for Miami, the linebacker, and he is going to go to the medical tent, it looks like, but he is walking on his own power with about 5 people surrounding him. 3 receivers left here for Northern Illinois. Bowers will get the snap on a 2nd and 18 for the right hash. Fires across the field. Wide open is a wide receiver and out of bounds for the first down. That would be number 2, Michael Love. His first completion of the game. And the Huskies out of bounds at the 11, so actually not enough for the first down. It's going to be a 3rd and 2. Beg your pardon there, but still a great catch for the Northern Illinois receiver, Love, who was lost in coverage.
But down here in the red zone, you do not need to give that much cushion if you're Miami. You need to be pressing up on these guys, make sure they can only get so many yards. That time you give up 16 on a play.
So they need 2 here for a first down, well into field goal range, but the RedHawks want to keep them to just 3 possibly. I formation here for Bowers. He's going to hand off. Harbison up the left hash. He will get to about the 9. And that's what he needed for the first down, but is he on the right side of the chains? And the referee says yes, and it's going to be a 1st and goal from the 9 for the Huskies, who pick it up on the run by Trey Harbison. RedHawks can't come up with another big 3rd down stop, and Huskies today a pretty good 3 for 7 on the 3rd downs. As Trey Harbison now with 59 yards in the game. High formation here. Bowers has Harbison behind him, and we get a whistle for a Miami timeout.
Good to see Barati back on the sideline down there with his helmet. He looks ready to go.
He was injured.
Miami, the second of the half. 30 seconds left.
So 5:53 to go in the second quarter. Northern Illinois 3, Miami nothing. We'll stay right here during this 30-second Red Hawk timeout. Their second of the half. And defensively, it's been a decent game for Miami, Josiah, but the offense has just been anemic today.
The offense has been the biggest problem, I would say. I think that if you're Miami, you need to go into the halftime, reevaluate your gameplay. You have to make sure that you're passing the football. We've seen this a few times this season where Brett Goward has had a game like against Western Michigan where he throws the ball almost 50 times in the game. And then we see games like this today where we barely even notice he's throwing the football. So if you're Miami and you're Chuck Martin, you need to make sure you come out and get this offense going, get them moving. You cannot keep running the football and protecting a freshman quarterback.
So Northern Illinois next week will be back home against Akron. They'll play Saturday at 3:30 against the Zips, and then they will go to Central Michigan for a game November 2nd. That one to be announced, probably for TV reasons. Redhawks next 3 weeks look like this. They'll be at Kent State for a 3:30 game next Saturday, then at Ohio for a game November 6th. That is a Wednesday night. That'll be at either 7:30 or 8 o'clock on ESPN2. Next time the Redhawks are at home will be the week following that. It'll be November 13th, a Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And the Redhawks will welcome in Mackey's foe, Bowling Green, for that one.
If you're Miami, I think you have to still be confident in where you are in the season right now. The MAC is a very wide open conference, especially on both sides. Here over in the East, Miami still has a very good chance of making sure they can get up there, possibly get to the MAC championship if they perform well enough and win these next few games. But it's wide open right now.
Yeah, the Redhawks 2-4 overall. They're 1-1 in the conference, just second in the MAC East, one win behind Kent State. So if they can keep pace with the Golden Flashes, the team they're actually playing next weekend, then it is still wide open. Still a shot at maybe a bit to Detroit for the MAC championship.
And even on the other side, you have Western Michigan, best record at 3-3. So very wide open division on both sides.
All right, back to business on the field. The Redhawks are going to rush about 9 players at the line as it's an I formation here. Bowers gets the handoff.
Misdirection.
Nope, it's a keep. He's going to roll to the far side of the field, gets to the 10. He's tackled down there. Redhawks make a nice stop on defense. Who was number 27.
Quarterback is down.
Kobe
he is not
Burse, who made the tackle, and Bowers went down kind of hard, and the training staff rushes right to him.
Went down on his head, kind of.
The ball came loose when Bowers came down, but they're going to say he was down on the field. And so a 2nd and 11 will come up, but the bigger concern here is Ross Bowers is down, and your starting quarterback could be injured.
Yeah, that looked like a bit of an awkward fall for him. He landed kind of over the head neck area, did not move as soon as he touched the ground.
So there's about 6 Northern Illinois
Miami's medical staff heading over too.
people around him, and now the Redhawks medical staff will come out. As Bowers is lying right about on the 10-yard line number, far side of the field in the Redhawks end. Just been a kind of a slow, choppy game, not much offense, not a whole lot of fireworks so far for this big family weekend crowd. They get Ross Bowers up on his feet. He will jog off the field. Oh.
Whoa. Collapsed as soon as he started jogging.
He's back up, but he may have got hit hard there, and
he might be done for the day after that
I
one.
would say after that episode, yes. As Ross Bowers got up on his own power, he started jogging off the field, and as soon as he met the sideline, he stumbled forward and fell down.
He's going right to the tip. Probably going to be a concussion right there.
So instead, we'll see the backup, number 15, Marcus Childers. He's a 6'1", 215 redshirt junior out of Adairsville, Georgia. Last week, just completing one pass on one pass attempt for 3 yards, but rushed for 75 yards on 2 attempts. So he will take control of the offense here. 2nd and 11 from the Miami 11. Childers rather back to pass, and it's a completion over the middle. They targeted Love again, and the wide receiver got him down to the 4-yard line. It'll be a 3rd and goal from the 4.
Hoping to see Miami hold one more time, maybe give the offense a chance to do something before the half.
So Childers on here trying to get Northern Illinois in for their first touchdown of the game. It'll be 3rd and goal here from the 4.
And this has been a long drive for Northern Illinois, so fatigue definitely cannot be an issue for the Miami defense right now.
2 receivers right and 1 to the left. Childers claps once. He's going to roll far side. Passes 1 to the end zone, and it's incomplete, but a flag comes out. Spencer Tears, the intended target, knocked down before the ball was in the area. And the RedHawks might have just given Northern Illinois another free first down.
That time they're probably
defense number 5. That foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Yeah, and that time they're going to get him for a tug that he did on the end of that play right before the receiver could get the ball. Wrapped around him, pulled him down.
RedHawks had a lot of defenders down there. Couldn't quite see who committed the foul, but first down and goal from the 2 for Northern Illinois. With 4:33 to go in the second, they're looking to make it a 2-possession game. They have 3 receivers right and a man in the backfield. That's Harbison with Childers. Childers hands off to Harbison, and he is pushed back right after the handoff. Marked down at the 5. It's going to be a loss of 3. The ball came out. All the RedHawks are pointing toward their end of the field. And the referee just announcing that the runner was down. Harbison was down before the ball came out.
Met with much chagrin by the home fans here.
Yeah. As about every RedHawk player around the huddle was pointing toward their scoring end zone, but it's the second time that's happened on the drive where the ball's come out, but after the Northern Illinois rusher is down.
Number 58, Doug Costin, just came out of the game as well. He was lying down on the sideline. Might just be some cramping or stretching, but that's a big defensive lineman for the Miami RedHawks.
Northern Illinois bursts out of the huddle. 2 receivers left, none to the right. And it's going to be a handoff here from Childers to Harbison. He's up the right hash, and he is stopped just short, I believe. The referee's marking him down just inside the 1-yard line. And with 3:30 to go here in the second, it's going to be a 3rd down and goal from inside the 1. That ball is about 2 inches from being inside the end zone.
Watch something with the quarterback here. You just mentioned he had 75 yards last week when he had to run.
Childers lines up with an I formation and a receiver on either side. Man in motion runs across the field. Quarterback sneak, and Childers unopposed gets into the end zone for a Northern Illinois touchdown. And the Huskies convert on a 3rd and goal and take a 9-0 lead with 3:08 to go in the second quarter.
And really, it was just a simple quarterback sneak. Just let him go right up the right side, got into the end zone.
Marcus Childers with his first rush touchdown of the year. The backup redshirt junior quarterback will put his team up 9-0, barring the extra point on its way from John Richardson, who was 11 for 11 on the year, and make that 12 for 12. So a 10-0 lead now for the Northern Illinois Huskies. They are able to take advantage of the RedHawks' missed defense, and got to think back, Josiah, to that pass interference call on the pass intended for Spencer Tears. That's what gave Northern Illinois those extra 3 attempts to rush it in the end zone, and RedHawks penalties today just killing them.
They are, and I mean, just like you said, the pass interference, that's giving a team another chance to convert. You just got to stop on 3rd down. There's no need to tug them on the play that time. If you're Emmanuel Rugamba, you have to just make sure you keep your hands off the receiver in that play. Just let the ball go dead, get your defense off the field. So now hopefully they can do something with 3 minutes left in the half.
Yep. So the Huskies here are going to kick off. Richardson will put the ball on the tee at the 35. 3:08 left in the second. Richardson steps back to his own 26, runs forward 9 yards, gets the kick off. Line drive to the near side. Thomas lets it go out the back of the end zone, and that is where the RedHawks will begin drive number 1 of this 10-0 game now. It's not drive number 1, it's drive number 6.
They've been very quick drives for the Miami offense, so this time you're hoping they can sustain something a little bit, give their defense a break. Their defense has been on the field most of the first half. You need to get something going if you're Miami right now.
So on drive number 6 of the game, they'll have 3 receivers left and 1 to the right. Gabbard back on for Miami, 3:08 to go in the second. They're down by 10.
Time to pass the ball if you're Brett Gabbard.
Man to his left in the backfield, and it's going to be a handoff. Nope, never mind. Play action to Bester. Gabbard throws near side, and Dominic Robinson makes the catch, and he's out of bounds at the Northern Illinois 49. Oh, what an athletic play by Dominic Robinson, extending his arms toward the sideline to make the play. And the RedHawks with a first down, and they're into Huskies territory, and the no-huddle offense will continue. Two receivers right and one to the left for Gabbard, who's got two men with him in the backfield. Claps once and gets the snap. Steps back for a throw. It's a screen pass to the near side. Bester the catch.
Good check
Walks
down.
his way out of bounds. He's out at the 47, pickup of 2.
I think this is really where Gabbard is excelling. He gets the ball out quick. You get a hurry-up offense going. That gives him a chance to really just get into the flow of things, get the ball out moving fast.
So the no-huddle offense here again for the RedHawks, working. Gabbard faked a pitch play to the near side, and he's going to be brought down to the backfield, trying to rush it forward. A good tackle there by Northern Illinois' Vinny Labousse, the linebacker, and Gabbard down at the 50, and it'll be 3rd and 11 from midfield.
Chuck Martin should not be conservative with this one. Yeah, you just took the loss, but you want to try and get a first down here because you need points on the board. If you go down in this and give the ball back to Northern Illinois, they could very well drive down the field, get some more points before the half. But that is not what you want.
Two receivers left and one to the right. Gabbard here will stand on his own 45 with a man in the backfield. Claps once and looks over with 13 on the play clock. Now takes 2 steps up to the line. RedHawks shift for 3 receivers on the left now and 1 on the right. Gabbard here gets the snap, looks far side for a throw. It's over the middle and a catch. RedHawks bring it in and tackled down for the first down for Miami is the wide receiver number 46. That's Andrew Homer with his first catch of the game. First down for the RedHawks all the way down to Northern Illinois 32.
That's what you got to let them do. You have to let Gabbard make these decisions, get a first down for the team, move the ball down the field.
Play action this time, throw over the middle, and it's incomplete. Luke Mayock couldn't bring it in. He was at the left hash around the Northern Illinois 20-yard line, and it'll be a 2nd and 10 here from the Huskies 32.
Number 49, Bart Barati, is jogging out to the locker room now.
Uh-oh. He was the injured player that went to the medical tent. He's not attended by any medical staff, but his helmet is in his right hand, and he's walking into the Athletic Performance Center. Gabbard stepping back. He's going to fire to the near side, and Jalen Walker makes the catch at the 10. The RedHawks will have a 1st and goal, actually from the Northern Illinois 9. Jalen Walker lost in coverage, and the RedHawks here, just 9 to go for their first touchdown of the game.
Great chance here. Great play by Walker, getting that foot down right on the sideline.
First catch of the day for Jalen Walker. No huddle continues. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Gabbard gets the snap, hands off. Johnson up the right hash, pushing his way down to the 5. He keeps going. The RedHawks helping him along the way. Davian Johnson all the way down to the 4-yard line up the right hash. And it'll be 2nd and goal from there. And they're back lined up again. Just 7 seconds have gone off of the play clock. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Gabbard pitch play near side. Johnson trying to get the angle. Dives for the end zone, but he couldn't quite make it. Had 2 Northern Illinois players coming from the far side trying to tackle him down. Davian Johnson going for the pylon there. He was about a yard short. And the ball came out, but he was out of bounds, so it'll be at the 1-yard line. The RedHawks will have a 3rd and goal with 1:09 to go in the 2nd. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Gabbard here will clap once, gets the snap, hands it off. Johnson trying to push his way up the middle. Still on his feet. They're trying to push him in, but he didn't get there.
To me, this is 4-down territory if you're Miami. You need to get into the end zone. There's less than a minute in the first half. Might as well go for it here and get some points.
Davian Johnson made it down to the 1-yard line, and then Northern Illinois defensively pushed him back as it was about an 11-on-11 battle there. Who was stronger, and Huskies prevailed. So the ball inside the 1-yard line, 40 seconds to go until the half. And the RedHawks here will have a 4th down and goal, and we'll get a whistle for a timeout called by the Huskies.
This 4th down is huge right now.
Huskies calling their first timeout of this half, and with 34 seconds to go here, Josiah, what could be a game-changing play. 4th and goal from inside the 1, and the RedHawks running game today, they just have not been able to convert these shorter type of plays. So you got to be creative on this one.
I think for this one, what you need to do is you need to make sure you utilize Brett Gabbard to the best of his ability. Maybe get a quick pass out to the side, throw a fade towards the back of the end zone. Just do something that gives one of your playmakers a chance to get a touchdown for you.
So the RedHawk crowd here on Family Weekend wants to cheer about something before halftime, and we'll see how many of them stay past halftime. Hockey game going on tonight. A lot of people will head over to that. Again, 8 o'clock Eastern, RedHawks at Ferris State, and it will be on Red Hawk Radio. Luke Westpoli and I will have to call that one from Goggin tonight on this doubleheader day of Miami athletics.
Even a quarterback sneak here could be an option.
That's true. 39 seconds to go in the second. Crowd is making noise, and they're starting to get on their feet. As we get another whistle, and Northern Illinois will call another timeout before the RedHawks get to the line. So they will use their second of the half, as they didn't like their game plan from the first timeout.
They wanted to see what Miami was going to come out in, what formation. It was a very heavy set for Miami, a lot of blockers, so Northern Illinois probably wants to get some personnel to match.
Yep. So the RedHawks here will come up with maybe another offensive plan, or will keep the same one, as their formation hadn't quite taken shape yet. They were still in the huddle before the timeout. Nothing. The Huskies on top. The ball inside the 1 yard line for Miami, inside the Northern Illinois 1 yard line, and they have a 4th and goal. Yager will get the huddle going, and they will break. 4 men in the backfield for the RedHawks is a triangle formation. Bester behind Gabbert, no receivers. Gabbert hands off, Bester up the middle,
Touchdown.
And he's in for the touchdown. Jalen Bester, the hero again, gets the RedHawks on the board with a seamless run up the middle. And Miami will now trail 10-6 to Northern Illinois with 36 seconds to go in the second.
Perfect play call there if you're Chuck Martin. Just get the ball, go right downhill. There's no need to do anything extra.
Crowd likes that. Sam Sloman on for the PAT in this low-scoring game. He was 1 for 1 last week at Western Michigan, 12 for 12 on the year. Kyle Kramer will hold for the RedHawks. Snap is good. Kick is up and right through Broadway. And the Miami RedHawks now have made this a 3-point game with a huge touchdown play. Jalen Bester will get the RedHawks on the board. Sloman finishes off the extra point, and the game now 10-7 with 36 seconds to go before the half.
Now make sure you don't give up anything on this kick return here. Make sure Northern Illinois just plays it safe, gets to the half. You go down 3 points at the half.
So the RedHawks here will probably just drive this one out the back of the end zone, you'd imagine. Sam Sloman does that on, seems like a lot of kickoffs nowadays. This family weekend crowd got on their feet before that 4th and 1 rush, and they cheered pretty loudly for that touchdown.
Finally gave him something to cheer about.
Oh, yeah. Sloman will have the ball on the tee here, and the RedHawks will split the special teams line at the 30. Northern Illinois will have Tucker back to return, and the ball falls off the tee. It's that wind, Josiah, and it's a sunny day, a beautiful day out, just kind of windy out today, and
I want to have a holder on that kick.
yeah. As before the game, all of our papers, we got them out, started blowing everywhere, and we had to go in the stands and search for them.
Now there's bees everywhere, too.
Yeah, jeez. Sloman will stand back 10 yards from the ball. RedHawks here will kick off. Northern Illinois will have 36 seconds and a timeout before the half, up by 3. And then we got the kick all the way back as Tucker will catch it in the end zone and not return it. So it'll be a touchback there. And see what the Huskies do here. They'll get it on their own 25. Might just do a victory formation as...
That's what I'd imagine.
Yeah.
They don't want to do anything stupid, give up the ball before half if you're Northern Illinois, but be prepared for anything.
RedHawks will receive the second half kickoff.
And that's what it looks like they will do, take a knee.
Victory formation as we still see backup quarterback Marcus Childers in there. Steps back for the knee, and that will do it for the half as each team will run to their respective locker room. And Northern Illinois, the Huskies lead it 10-7 after 30 minutes. And this RedHawks crowd cheering on their team as they march out the field, as it was a very anemic start for the offense, Josiah, and still kind of has been an anemic day for them, but still able to get that touchdown there and only down by 3 at the half.
That was major for them to get. Who knows? Maybe to start the second half, that's a momentum boost for them.
All right, so we will begin halftime here from Yager Stadium at Oxford on Family Weekend, hoping the crowd will stick around for a little bit. As the Northern Illinois Huskies, after 30 minutes, lead this one by a score of 10-7. So we'll return in about 20 minutes or so with a second half call. So grab a beverage and then come back over to the radio and listen to the second half on a close and good game on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Oxford, Ohio here this afternoon. You're listening to Miami Football on Red Hawk Radio. Miami trailing by 3 at the half. Back after the half, Patrick Geshan and Josiah Collins with you here at Yager Stadium in Oxford. The Miami RedHawks trailed the Northern Illinois Huskies by a score of 10-7. As halftime here about to wind up in Oxford, Josiah, quickly, you got to look at the stat sheet. What stands out to you at the half?
3 things stand out to me right now. Number 1, the rush yards. Miami has 14 rushes for only 11 yards, while Northern Illinois has 26 for 63. If you're Miami, that's just an unacceptable number. Way too low. You got to get that better. Second, total offensive plays and yards. Northern Illinois has 40, while Miami has only run 25 plays of offense so far. You definitely have to change that on offense to keep your defense off the field if you're Miami. And then last thing runs right along with that, the time of possession. Northern Illinois had the ball for over 20 minutes in the first half, and then Miami only had the ball for less than 10. So you have to make sure that you just balance everything out. Your defense is going to get exhausted if you just continue to get 3 and out to get off the field. So this offense has to come alive this half. Really make sure they make a point of moving the ball down the field, turning up some clock too.
Yep. Couldn't agree with you more on that one. So the Huskies lead up by 3, and they're going to kick off to Miami here to begin the second half. As we are awaiting TV to get out of their timeout. It'll be John Richardson to kick off for Northern Illinois, left to right. And the RedHawks will move right to left offensively here to begin drive number 1 of the second half. Richardson, the right arm up. He kicks a long, high kick that is caught by Thomas at the Miami 1. Gets out to the 10, moves toward the middle of the field. Now he's getting driven backwards, and Maurice Thomas will be tackled at the Miami 10-yard line as he got out to the 10 from the end zone, then ran in a straight line toward the near side of the field, and Northern Illinois met him there and pushed him back, and the RedHawks with not so good field position for drive number 1 of the second.
That time, too much east and west running by Thomas. Make sure you got to get up the field, make your cut soon. Here, if you're Chuck Martin, you do not want to play conservative just because you're backed up. You want to make sure that you still continue to push the ball, push the action.
So a receiver on either side here for Brett Gabbert. It's an I formation. Claps once and looks over to the near sideline for a play call. 7 on the play clock. Claps again. It's a play action handoff. Back on his goal line. Fires a long pass far side, and it is caught. Jalen Walker brings in one there for the RedHawks. It'll be out to the 27-yard line and a pickup of 17 on play number 1.
Great start there by the RedHawks. Get a first down, especially get out of your own end zone right there. Move the ball upfield.
And Jalen Walker with his second catch for 38 yards on the day. He's averaging 19. The longest 23 yards. That was back in the first half. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left here. Gabbert will move a man across from the right. It's going to be a play action handoff with Thomas. Little pass to the far side. Caught there by Jalen Bester. He's up the numbers. Far side of the field. Picks up about 5 or 6 on the play, and it's going to be a 2nd and 5 from the Miami 32.
That time, Bennett Clark, number 57, offensive lineman, got a nice block. Sprung him, got him a few extra yards on that play.
So a minute into this third quarter, RedHawks offense looking a lot better than they maybe were in the first half.
Hopefully it's a sign of things to come.
Yep. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. A very busy backfield here for Gabbert, who sends a man across right to left. It's going to be a handoff here. And trying to move up the left side of the field, dodging the initial tackle for Miami was Jalen Bester. He got out to the 40, or the 35 rather. And Jalen Bester here will get the RedHawks back into the no-huddle offense. 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left on the 3rd and 2. Gabbert's going to keep it, try to pitch it, but instead is going to march his way up the left hash for about 3 yards, and that's going to give the RedHawks the first down on a unscripted carry there by Gabbert, and RedHawks will move the chains.
Yeah, broken play, but good job by Gabbert to adjust. Just go upfield, get the first down.
So 1st and 10 for the Miami 38. RedHawks pick up their 2nd first down of the drive, and Miami now has 6 first downs in the football game. 2 receivers left, none to the right for the RedHawks here. A man in the backfield to Gabbert's right. And that might be Tyree Shelton. Gabbert gets the snap on the second clap, play action fake. He got almost taken down, dodges that, moves up the near side of the field on a keep, and Brett Gabbert gets all the way out to the Miami 47, and it will be just short of the first down, but it'll be a 2nd and 1 as Gabbert almost sacked in the backfield and then is able to gain 9 on the carry.
Shows some elusiveness at that time, made sure he avoided the sack, got the first down.
So the RedHawks here will take their time on this next play. 12:36 to go here in the third quarter. And Miami I'm going to pick up another first down. Gabbard with a handoff. Davian Johnson gets to midfield, and then the RedHawks trying to push him forward for some extra yardage. He'll get to Northern Illinois territory in the Huskies 49, and plenty for the first down there. And Davian Johnson will help the RedHawks pick up first down number 3 on this drive.
The faster paced offense, I think, is really benefiting the offense right now. They haven't been able to slow down really. It's kind of been constant action, constant motion. So I think that's really what's been the key to the second half drive so far.
So they line up again here. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Man in the backfield with Gabbard. That is Bester. Walker will run across the line from left to right. As Gabbard, a little pitch play over to Bester, who's up the near sideline there, out of bounds at the 45. And that'll be a pickup of 4, and we'll set up a 2nd and 6. Gabbard falling back a little pass forward, a few yards to Bester, who runs for a gain of 4.
You gotta like what you're seeing if you're Miami from Gabbard right now. He's definitely showing some will to stand in the pocket, stand in the pressure, and he's making the right decisions right now, which you love to see.
So 2 receivers right and 1 to the left here. Gabbard with a man to his left to the backfield, and Davian Johnson. They're on the NIU 45, 2nd and 6. Gabbard with a second clap will look over to the sideline and then step up to the line. Barks instructions, resumes his position in the backfield, gets the snap off here. Gabbard looking to pass over the middle, a long one, and it is caught! Jalen Walker, touchdown Miami! Actually, I beg your pardon, the receiver that time for the RedHawks was number 19, James May. James May made the catch for Miami to get into the end zone for the touchdown. The RedHawks with a 45-yard reception. And with 11:13 to go in the third quarter, James May was left wide open in the middle of the field and marched it in, and Miami with their first lead of the day.
And that time, that was just a perfect seam right up the middle. May got wide open. Gabbard delivered the ball on time.
Sam Sloman on for the PATs, 1 for 1 in that department today. And the kick is up and good from Sam Sloman to add the extra one on. So it is a 14-10 lead for Miami, and Brett Gabbard threw a bullet over the middle, perfectly timed to James May. He was lost in coverage and marched in the end zone. And Josiah, we talked about the offense struggling to get going in the first half. That's the kind of stuff you want to see right there.
Perfect way to start off the second half. Now you need the defense to carry over that same momentum, get off the field early, get the ball back to your offense.
All right, so the RedHawks here with their first lead of the day at Yager Stadium. The first drive of the second half is successful. And they lead at 14-10 over Northern Illinois on Family Weekend. This is Miami Football on Red Hawk Radio. Back here in Oxford after the touchdown, RedHawks about to kick off to Northern Illinois for their first drive offensively in the second half. Patrick Geshan, Josiah Collins with you here at Yager Stadium, and with that last drive, Josiah RedHawks now take the lead in the total yards category. They have 186 to Northern Illinois' 158.
You know, that's exactly what you want to see if you're Miami. Come out in the second half, establish yourself, get a score, and now you're in the lead. Now the defense needs to come out, hold, make sure that Northern Illinois doesn't drive the ball down the field how they were doing so much in the first half.
So Sam Sloan with the ball on the tee on the Red Hawk 35. He'll kick right to left with 11:13 to go in this third quarter. Very long kick for Sloman. The wind will push it out the back of the end zone as Tucker lets it go. And so Northern Illinois will begin this drive here on their own 25. Full 14-10, the RedHawks lead it after a great catch by James May, as he made the touchdown reception for 45 yards, and that's the only pass touchdown credited to Brett Gabbert so far today, who's 9 for 15 for 156 yards. Marcus Childers out there for Northern Illinois. He's 2 for 2 for 4 yards. And remember, Bowers is out of the game after he went down in the first half with what looked probably was a concussion, as he was injured on the field and stood up and then fell right back down. Stumbled forward trying to jog off the field. So the backup quarterback in there for the Huskies, and Childers on the first play, a handoff that went up the middle for about 6, and it'll be 2nd and 4 from their own 31. And they'll line up again here with 18 on the play clock. Two receivers right, one to the left, an I formation for Childers. And a flag comes in from the far side. It'll be a false start.
False start. Offense number 65.
So the Huskies push back 5 yards on that, and it will be a 2nd down and 9 from their own 26. Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in Oxford. As the crowd, Josiah, you can notice a small decrease, but most of them sticking around. That's a good sign.
Just hopefully getting their time's worth.
Yep. Two receivers right, one to the left here. Childers back to pass, looks far side. It's a throw and a catch for Tucker, who caught it and went out of bounds right at the first down chain. And we'll see if they move him here. He got out at the 35, and it looks like they're going to move him there on the far sideline. So that is a first down for the Huskies. So it has been Cole Tucker, the 6'2", 190 redshirt sophomore, who's had some pretty decent offensive plays this afternoon for Northern Illinois. Two receivers right, one to the left here for Childers. Man in the backfield is an I formation. That's Harbison. They hand it off to Harbison. He's up the middle here and will push his way forward out to the 45-yard line, or the 40 rather.
Miami's showing a lot of blitz right now, but the thing is they're getting out of their gaps. Every single time they play a snap, the blockers are moving them right out of the way, getting them out of what they want to do, which is stop the run, but they just can't do it right now.
So Harbison with a gain of 5 on the last carry sets up a 2nd and 5 from the 40. 9:17 to go in this third quarter. RedHawks up 14-10 on Northern Illinois. All right, trying to get back to a winning record in the Mid-American Conference. Three receivers on the left side here, and Harbison, or rather Childers, will clap once, get the snap off to Harbison, who's up the middle, past the 47.
Flag at the end.
It'll be a first down run, barring the flag here, as he picked up 6 up the right hash. Flag came in from the judge on the far side of the field. Threw it right when Harbison was tackled. Get our call?
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 82, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Face mask against Miami will give the Huskies 15 free yards, and they're going to be down into Red Hawk territory now.
Penalties once again coming into play. You just got to make sure that you're staying disciplined out there. That time it's in the action of the game, so it's a little bit more acceptable as a coach, but you hate to see any penalties given up, especially for a 15-yarder.
8:52 to go in the third quarter.
Northern Illinois moving the ball once again, which is exactly what Miami wants to avoid right now.
Yep. Northern Illinois drive that has produced a lot of offense so far. Childers in trouble, is trying to keep it. Originally a pass play, but he had nobody to go to, so then the keep turns into a loss of 1. As he was tackled down near the 39, and officially it will be no gain for a 2nd and 10.
Great contained by Ryan McWood that time, stayed right there on top of him.
So the RedHawks here trying to make the big stop on defense. 5-play, 35-yard drive for the Huskies so far. Receiver on either side for Childers. Harbison to his left of the backfield. It's going to be a pass. A little floater to the near side of the field, and it's brought in. And a catch and all the way down toward the end zone. The RedHawks trying to keep Michael Love out. Michael Love made the catch at the Miami 15-yard line. He was able to get down to about the 1 before the RedHawks had 3 men pushing him back. They finally get him down at the 1, and it'll be first and goal for Northern Illinois. Good
Strong
catch by
effort
Love.
that time.
Yes.
And no help over the top. Miami breaks contain, gives up an easy play down the field.
No huddle offense, 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Harbison gets the handoff, immediately tackled down for a loss of 2. As Northern Illinois had this in the first half, they had a first and goal at the 5 and were only able to punch through a field goal. So the defense has been there today for Miami. And Josiah, we see Bart Barati out there on the field for the RedHawks right now, 49 in red, and he was injured in the first half. Great sign to see him back out there.
Great sign to see him as well as number 58, Doug Costin, who also went out earlier in the game. Good to see both of those guys back out there, both leaders for this team.
So they'll put the ball here on the 3, and it'll be second and goal from there for the Huskies. Quickly at the line, it's going to be an I formation. Harbison dots it. Childers hands off to Harbin. Nope, never mind. Play action fake. Childers far side has the angle, in Northern Illinois in the end zone for a touchdown.
And once again, we see the same thing happening over and over for the defense. The quarterback fakes it to the running back every time. Defense bites on it. Quarterback sneaks all the way out to the sweep. Gets a touchdown that time. Breaks contain again.
And Marcus Childers will have touchdown run number 1 on the day, as it was a play action fake and a very good one with Trey Harbison. And then he ran to the far side where there were no defenders and puts Northern Illinois back on top. As it is Richardson back on for the PAT. He'll drive it right through the middle, and the Huskies regain the lead. They now are on top 17-14 with 6:47 to go in the third quarter. And it was the first half, Josiah, with pretty much no offense at all, but we've seen 2 drives for 2 touchdowns so far in the second.
Yeah, I mean, I think for both teams, they wanted to come out, really get their game going, play to their strengths. For Miami, we saw the hurry-up offense come into effect, really how it did late in the first half. For Northern Illinois, it's just been much of the same thing. They've just been the more physical team on their side of the ball, pushing the defenders back. We see a few times a few mental errors and also play game errors where just losing contain over the top leads to a touchdown.
All right, so we'll step aside for a quick media timeout and be back with you in a moment. Northern Illinois back on top, 17-14. It's Miami football on Red Hawk Radio. Back here at Yager Stadium in Oxford, RedHawks trailing Northern Illinois now by a score of 17-14, and the Huskies about to kick off with 6:47 to go in this third quarter. Patrick Geshan and Josiah Collins with you here. And we're not done after the football game. Hockey on Red Hawk Radio tonight. They'll take on Ferris State, 8 o'clock Eastern puck drop from Goggin, and I'll be joined by Luke Westpoli for the call of that one. Volleyball in action tomorrow, too. They play Central Michigan, 2:30 at Millette. Long kickoff here. Caught by Maurice Thomas at the 1. He's going to rush up the right hash, and Maurice Thomas finds another break. And Maurice Thomas almost had it. A complete all-the-way run again, as he had to dodge just one more tackle, but that tackle was made at the Miami 40, barely on the shoestring. As Maurice Thomas with another 40-yard return, and the RedHawks will begin 1st and 10 officially from their own 38.
And on that return, you saw him go straight north and south. None of the east and west stuff that happened on the last time he got the return. Definitely learned from that mistake before.
Yeah, that return from Thomas that went for 85 yards back in the first half. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Gabbert with 2 men in the backfield. Claps once and then looks over and gets another sign. And then the RedHawks change their formation for 2 receivers on the right. And Bester moves in the backfield to the left of Gabbert. 12 on the play clock. Gets off the snap. Play action fake. Gabbert over the middle with a throw. And it's over the head of the intended target. That was Miami's number 46, Andrew Homer, the tight end, who's already been targeted once today. It'll be 2nd and 10 on the incompletion.
That time, Gabbert was a little bit early trying to deliver the ball. Receiver just quite wasn't ready for it yet.
So they'll take their time to the line on a 2nd and 10. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Davian Johnson is in the backfield, or no, that's Shelton in the backfield along with Gabbert as they move into an I formation now. Handoff goes to Tyree Shelton, and he tried to push his way forward after getting pushed back initially. Stretched out the ball with his right arm for a gain of 1, and it's going to be 3rd and 9 from the RedHawk 39.
Here, keep doing what you've been doing. You've been letting Gabbert try, get the first down. You haven't been playing it safe, so keep doing the same thing here. You can get another first down.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Gabbert claps twice. He'll get the snap here. Throws to the near side, and it's a catch. And up the near sideline and out of bounds for the RedHawks is James May, who had the touchdown catch earlier in the half, and he comes up with another big one there, all the way down to the NIU 37-yard line, and the RedHawks with another first down.
And he stays down out the play on the sideline after the play. Looks like his leg got caught up a little bit towards the end there.
That is the 3rd completion of the day for the RedHawks, James May.
Doesn't look like he's able to put much on that leg right now. They're probably going to want to take a look at that.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. No huddle offense here. Yager with a man to his left in the backfield. That is Bester, and then he steps up to the line and gives instructions. Now back with 3 on the play clock. They need to get it off. They will. Gabbert empty backfield now. Fires far side, and it is over the head of the intended target for the RedHawks. And number 6, Austin Robinson. First time he was targeted on the day, and it'll be 2nd and 10 for the 41.
That time just an overthrow on Gabbert's part. Got to bring it down a little bit, hit the receiver right in the numbers, give him a chance to do something with it.
Robinson was undefended there. Just the ball was way over his head. And that's an adjustment Gabbert's going to make in the college game eventually as a true freshman coming in. Those throws will come. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. 2nd and 10, Gabbert back, throws it far side, it's up in the air and almost intercepted as Jalen Bester there tipped the ball up in the air, trying to make the catch around the Northern Illinois 45. The Huskies came in trying to intercept it, but they couldn't come up with a ball. And it'll be a 3rd and 10 from the 41, a scary one there.
That time they couldn't really get the screen developed the right way. Bester was coming across just a little bit too soon. Gabbert tucks it over him.
So Gabbert in the pass game has just not been sharp. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Claps twice, looks over, 10 on the play clock. Snap comes off. Gabbert steps back a few yards, looking for a long throw. Airs it out far side, and it will be a catch. Jalen Walker brings it in all the way down at the NIU 1. And a flag on the play, probably defensive pass interference. But Jalen Walker continuing with the clutch plays.
I'd be shocked if that play didn't stand.
It is pass interference on the defense, and the RedHawks pick up another impressive gain. It's actually at the 2-yard line, Jalen Walker.
They're going to get him for that pull there. As soon as Jalen Walker got past him, Walker was able to still beat him anyway, get the ball.
So now they'll have 2 receivers left and 1 to the right. 1st and goal on the 2. Bester in the backfield with Gabbert, who claps once he gets off the snap. Hands it off. Bester up the middle. And he will be stopped just short. As looks like the RedHawks will get inside the 1 on the run there for Bester. So it'll be 2nd and goal with 4:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. Miami quickly back to move into the formation again. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Bester in the backfield again. Another handoff. This time up the right side, but we get a whistle. He was in the end zone, but the play blown dead right at the snap.
An official timeout was declared to review the previous play.
And all the boos, if you could hear that call, the referee said that the play was blown dead before the snap because they were going to review the previous play to see if Bester did in fact get in. Now he did get in on that play, but it officially didn't count because referees blew it dead a split second before to review. So a frustrating break there for the RedHawks, but they will get to redo that play. Could be worse. So with 4:29 to go in the third quarter, we'll get our review here, and we couldn't even tell from our angle. We're at the opposite 20-yard line if Bester did get into the end zone. And Jalen Bester's been a very big part of the RedHawks run game today. 8 rushing attempts for 18 yards, averaging 2.3 carries already, 1 touchdown this afternoon. But Jalen Walker, probably the story of the game, Josiah, 4 receptions for 95 yards on the day, averaging 23.8 yards per catch. And he's been setting up the RedHawks offensively very well so far today.
He has been. He's really been helping out the young quarterback, making all the catches on the sideline, just doing everything that he can to move the ball down the field for the team.
So we're off the monitor now. The fans very delighted with the referee's announcement that Jalen Walker on the original rush was down inside the 1, so it'll be second to go from there. Imagine they'll just give it right back to Jalen Walker, or Jalen Bester rather.
NIU probably is expecting that now at this point, so
Yep.
might want to change the play call up a little bit. Maybe do a misdirection.
Never know. RedHawks will huddle up here before this play. 15 on the play clock. They better go.
Definitely don't want to waste the time out here due to wasting time picking out a play.
The huddle breaks. Gabbard steps up to the line. He's going to try a quarterback sneak. The snap came through. They're pushing him to the right side. And they're going to say Gabbard didn't make it. RedHawks may have lost some yardage there as Gabbard went right up for a shotgun snap, and then he was trying to push his way into the end zone, but didn't get quite enough height over the pile, and the RedHawks will lose a few inches there. The ball's still inside the 1, but now 3rd and goal. And so now it's go time for Miami. You feel like this is 4th down territory anyway, but
Got to get the push.
down 17-14, trying to put this one in, and it would be big. A receiver on either side for Gabbert. To his right in the backfield is Bester. Gabbert will pitch it. Bester far side trying to get in, and he will! Touchdown Miami! Jalen Bester dodging 2 tackles and gets the ball for the 5-yard line to the end zone. And the RedHawks retake the lead 20-17. Jalen Bester rush touchdown number 2 on the afternoon for the RedHawks.
That was a very smart play call that time. The option was almost a little delayed. Bester with a great second effort to break off the tackle, get into the end zone, put the RedHawks back up.
And this crowd that stuck around past halftime to watch Family Weekend Affair likes that. RedHawks get the touchdown anyway after all the review controversy. Sam Sloman on for the PAT. Perfect in that department today. 2 for 2. Kyle Kramer will hold. The snap good. The kick right down Broadway. And the Miami RedHawks will now take a 4-point lead. They lead it by a score of 21-17 over the Huskies of Northern Illinois with 3:29 to go here in this third quarter. And Josiah, the offense, kicking right now for the RedHawks.
Your offense is finally awoken. They're getting some points going right now. This is exactly what you want to see. But now the defense has to do their part, which they were doing in the first half. But you want to see them get back to that, stop Northern Illinois from scoring the football.
The offense is woke here for Miami this afternoon. 3:29 to go in the third quarter. They lead it by 4 on Family Weekend. It's Miami football on Red Hawk Radio. Back here at Yager Stadium, RedHawks will have to protect the lead again, up 21-17 on the Northern Illinois Huskies. 3:29 to go, third quarter. Sam Sloman, the ball on the tee, ready to kick off here. As the RedHawks and Huskies trading points like it's nobody's business in this second half. Low line drive kick for Sloman down the near side of the field will drop out the back of the end zone. And the Northern Illinois Huskies begin this drive on their own 25. And on every kickoff today, that's where they've begun their drive. So the RedHawks here, Josiah, need some good defense against the Huskies.
They got to return to what they were doing in the first half, was really just kind of trying to slow things down, forcing them to settle for things that they didn't necessarily want, short yardage situations, and closing in on the football after the quarterback gets rid of it.
21-17, RedHawks on top. One receiver to the left here as Childers back out there for this drive. The backup quarterback hands off to Trey Harbison, who was eaten up right at the line. Trying to go up that left hash, but instead the RedHawks say, you're going to lose 1 yard. 2nd and 11. .310 to go in the third quarter. And Northern Illinois here is going to line up. 3 receivers to right, 1 to the left. I formation for Childers. He's got Harbison now to his left. Takes the snap, rolls back, rolls to the near side now, looks for a throw near side, and it's over the head of the intended target. First time that they go for Dennis Robinson today in the second half, and over the head of Robinson, and didn't really know it was coming his way.
Yeah, that time Miami did a good job forcing him out of the pocket, making him make a play with his feet. Ended up overthrowing the receiver, so third down situation.
3rd and 11. Ball on their own 24, and the Huskies here will need a huge pickup. They are 5 for 9 on third downs today. Crowd getting on their feet here at Yager. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. As there will be a snap here for Childers. Quick throw on a slant play, and it's a catch, but being brought down way short of the line. Mitchell Brakeman. The RedHawks make a great tackle on the play as it was, I believe, number 6 down there for Miami, Travion Banks, the defensive back, who stops him after a gain of about 5, and it's a 3-and-out for the Huskies.
That's exactly what you want. That's what Northern Illinois has been doing all game, kind of dink and dunk game down the field. That time Miami closed in right away, did not allow any extra yards.
So a punt will be on now here for Northern Illinois. Almost blocked. Matt Ferentz got it off, though. It is Thomas back at the RedHawk 25 for the catch, and he will run up to the 35 and get stopped there. Pickup of 10 on the punt return from Maurice Thomas, the Oxford, Ohio native. And the RedHawks will begin this drive from their own 35 with 2:13 to go in the third.
Use that momentum that you have. Continue to push the action. Don't settle down here. Don't settle into a 4-minute offense type situation.
So the formation here, 2 receivers right and 1 to the left. Cabert with a man to his left in the backfield. Looks like that's Tyrese Shelton. 14 on the play clock. Gabbert steps in to bark instructions. The sideline yelling a bunch of stuff at Gabbert. Shelton now moves to his right in the backfield. Gabbert takes the snap, hands off. Shelton up the left hash. Able to pick up a pretty good chuck there. Out to about the Northern Illinois 38-yard line. And the ball came out way after Shelton was down, and Huskies tried to return it for a touchdown, but that didn't go well. It'll be a 2nd and 7 after a gain of 3 from the Miami 38. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Gabbert has Shelton next to him in the backfield. Claps twice with the snap. Play action. Gabbert back to pass. Will go to Shelton for a screen pass, and he's up the numbers on the far side. Tyrese Shelton dodges 2 defenders down to the Northern Illinois 45. They're into Husky territory with a first down. Tyrese Shelton, catch number 1 on the day.
That's how you see Miami doing a little bit of what Northern Illinois did to them early in the first half, getting the ball to the receiver, letting them make the play.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left on the no-huddle offense. Gabbert fakes a pitch far side, instead decides to keep it, finds a hole up the middle. Brett Gabbert down to the 30, dodges a tackle, and he's down to the 15-yard line. Brett Gabbert with a beautiful keep. It's going to pick up 42 yards for the RedHawks, and they are down inside the red zone here.
Keep pushing the hurry up. Defense is not set. They're not ready to go.
Beg your pardon, actually a 29-yard pickup. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Gabbert on the no huddle, hands off, Shelton up the middle, found a hole. He's down to the 10. They will pick up 6 on the rush for a 2nd and 4 with less than a minute to go now in the 3rd.
Both teams going to sub out here a little bit, get some fresh options on the field for the offense, some fresh options for the defense.
Knox will send a few men off. This offense was anemic in the first half, but they are really getting going here in the 2nd. Knox now up to 300 total yards in the game. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Gabbert looked over to the sideline, but he got the snap anyway, and he wasn't looking. The ball hit him in the chest. Luckily, in the backfield next to him was Davian Johnson, who pounced right on it. And just some miscommunication there, and that's what you get when you get those play calls from the sideline. Gabbert looking over all the time, and some miscommunication there. The center snapped it off his chest, and RedHawks will lose 1 on the play for a 3rd and 11 now.
And that'll probably take us to the end of the 3rd quarter here, and those are the mental errors that really keep hurting Miami and what has really put them in this 2-4 situation that they're in right now.
Yep. So they will have some time, though, to think about this 3rd and 11 from the Northern Illinois 17 when we return, as we are through 45 minutes here in Oxford. The Miami RedHawks leading Northern Illinois by a score of 21-17, trying to make it a 2-possession game. And we'll be back to Oxford in just a moment. You're listening to Miami Football here on Red Hawk Radio. RedHawks facing a 3rd down and 11 here. Moving left to right across your radio now in this 4th quarter, which is about to get underway. Up 21-17 on Northern Illinois. Patrick Geshan, Josiah Collins with you here on Red Hawk Radio. The Miami team 17-7 in their last 24 MAC games, trying to continue the good stretch of play here as they would like to keep the Bill Mallory Cup for a 2nd straight season. And these two teams met last year up in DeKalb. It was one of those Wednesday night November games, and RedHawks won it 13-7 in a game that was not full of much offense. Two receivers left, one to the right here as Gabbert will clap once and then look over. 3rd and 11 from the NIU 17. First play of this fourth quarter. Gabbert with a snap, passes far side. Jalen Walker leaps for the catch, and he's brought down right there at the original line of scrimmage as Jalen Walker made a nice athletic catch, but Northern Illinois got right on him when he came down from the jump.
And one thing that we definitely want to point out, at the half we talked about how Northern Illinois ran 15 more plays of offense than Miami. Now the play total is 47 Miami, 51 Northern Illinois. So that's a very good way to separate that margin, shrink it a little bit, keep your defense off the field.
Sam Sloman is going to attempt a field goal here. It'll be a 34-yarder from the left hash. The wind blowing right to left for Sloman. He's trying to put the RedHawks up by 7. The kick is up, and it is good. Sam Sloman makes his first field goal of the day, a 34-yarder from the left hash, puts the RedHawks back up by 7, and they lead by a touchdown, 24-17 on Northern Illinois, and a good way to finish off that drive for Miami.
Right, get some points on the board, make sure you keep pushing that lead upward. Now your defense has to go out and hold again.
So the RedHawks that time able to push it through and convert as Sloman missed a 29-yarder earlier in the game. This time it is good from 34. So that will bring us to another media timeout. The RedHawks now on top by 7. And you're listening to Miami Football on Red Hawk Radio. We're back to Yager in just a moment. 24-17, Miami leads it. 14:21 to go in this fourth quarter on Family Weekend. And again, the hockey team in action tonight over at Steve Cady Arena across town. Redhawks taking on Ferris State, 8 o'clock puck drop. I will have the call with Luke Westpoli tonight on Red Hawk Radio. Sam Sloman will step back 10 yards from 35 and kick it left to right back to the Huskies, who trail now by a touchdown. It was the foot of Sloman that gave the RedHawks an extra 3 points in the last drive, and it's a low kick that lands at the 20 and jumps out of bounds. And a flag will come out for a kick out of bounds, and it'll be pretty good field position here for Northern Illinois. As maybe a fluke there for Sam Sloman, usually knocking it out the back of the end zone, but that time it landed short.
That time, yeah, just a bit of a shank on the kick there by Sloman.
So Northern Illinois will begin the drive here at their own 35. The men from DeKalb march on the field and begin the next offensive drive. Huskies have run 51 offensive plays today for 227 yards. Childers back out there for Northern Illinois, a receiver on either side. He's got a man to his left in the backfield. Childers back for a pass. Pocket collapsed over the middle, and there's a catch. A good one by Mitchell Brinkman, who's still on his feet, all the way down to the Red Hawk 36-yard line. And they pick up a very good chunk of yardage there. Mitchell Brinkman with a catch, and he's made a few big ones today.
Yeah, and that time you see he just gets behind the defense, makes a very nice catch. Looks like the RedHawks just kind of surrounded him and nobody was there to really cover him. So bad defensive miss there on that time.
His third reception of the afternoon, averaging 13.3 yards a catch. He's up to 40 on the game. First and 10 for the Miami 37. Childers back for a pass again. Rolls far side, nobody to go to. And he fires one, and it'll be caught by Tucker, but he was hit hard out of bounds. And they're going to say he brought it in. Cole Tucker down there at the Miami 23-yard line, able to leap up for a nice athletic catch and must have got at least 1 foot in and sets up another first down for the Huskies.
Makes another play with his feet, keeps the play alive, gets the ball out to the receiver. Miami needs to buckle up right now.
13 and a half to go in the fourth, and Northern Illinois has already picked up a lot of good yardage on the drive. Childers back for another pass on first down. The pocket collapsed, and he's brought down. And tackled there by the RedHawks, number 35. That was Ryan McWood, who came out of nowhere from the line to tackle down Childers. First sack of the day for the RedHawks, pushes them back 9 for a 2nd and 19.
On that last play, Barati got up slow once again, just called for a sub.
So Bart Barati's condition continues to be not 100% what it appears to us. Of course, the RedHawks just have a week until their next game at Kent State, 3:30 next Saturday up in Northeast Ohio. Two receivers left, one to the right. Childers claps twice, gets the snap back for another pass on 2nd and 19 over the middle, and he was trying to go for intended target Mitchell Brinkman again, but instead McWood was there to bat it right out of his arms.
Good
so
response.
Little one-on-one
to the
battle
plays
in the middle of the field.
Yeah, good response to the 2 previous plays they gave up that were kind of big. Get a sack, now you force an incompletion. Now it's a 3rd and long situation, gets your defense off the field.
3rd and 19 from the Miami 32 for the Huskies. And you'd imagine they might be in field goal range. The longest kick made by Richardson this year has been 51 yards, so it could be done. 2 receivers left, one to the right, crowd getting loud. Childers back for another pass on 3rd and 19. Rolls to the near side. RedHawks chasing him. Childers gets it off to the near side of the field, but way out of bounds. Intended target there for Northern Illinois was Dennis Robinson. He was the only one open on the near side, but the pass 5 yards to his left out of bounds. And 4th down here, and the Huskies will probably bring out the field goal team. The ball on the right hash, and this will be a 50-yard attempt. Or a 49-yard attempt, rather, coming for Richardson.
And guess who was down on the field, pushing the pressure on the quarterback again? Number 49, Barbarati.
The snap is up, the kick is up, and it looks to be wide right, and it will be no good. John Richardson misses the 49-yard kick, and with 12:24 to go in the fourth quarter, the RedHawks hold on to their 24-17 lead. Good defense there that time, Josiah.
Perfect defense. Good response after you give up 2 big plays to start the drive. Good job by the defense to just lock in, only give up a field goal attempt, which ended up being far right.
So the RedHawks turn it over on downs. Or Northern Illinois turns it over on downs after a missed field goal there from Richardson.
Miami wasting no time getting set here.
Of course not. 3 receivers right and 1 to the left. Yager has a man in the backfield, claps twice, hands it off. Tyree Shelton up the middle. He got tripped up across the 35, got to the 36. Will be a pickup of 4 to set up a 2nd and 6.
If you're Miami, you want to make sure you keep playing to win and avoid playing not to lose, which is what you can do with a young quarterback sometimes. You want to make sure that he's making the right decision. Just make sure you keep playing to win throughout this game.
RedHawks entire offense looking at the sideline for the play. Blake locked down to 17.
Don't want to waste the time out here.
Nope. RedHawks still have 3, so do the Huskies here in the second half. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Gabbard claps once. Everybody looks over. Gabbard claps twice. Now the snap comes. Fakes the handoff to Shelton. Gabbard pass to the near side over the head of Jalen Walker. It was about 3 yards past him. And a 2nd and 6 will turn into a 3rd and 6 on the incomplete attempt toward Walker.
I think we'll see him improve on that as time goes on, like you mentioned before. Young quarterback just kind of forcing the ball up over the air a little bit, up over a receiver's height.
So with 11:37 to go in this fourth quarter, Brett Gabbert will try to get the RedHawks another 3rd down conversion. They are 6 for 12 in that department today. Pass game has gotten going for Miami. They have 231 pass yards, 70 rush yards for a total of 301 on the day. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Gabbard claps twice, gets the snap. Looks far side, fires a bullet, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended target, the tight end, Andrew Homer. Homer's been targeted numerous times today, and now he's laying flat on the field at the far side 45-yard line, the Miami 45. Northern Illinois trainers get to him first, as Andrew Homer really hasn't been targeted in the grand scheme of things this season much for the pass game for Miami, but he has made a few good catches today, Josiah, including 1 reception for 18 yards.
I mean, yeah, when you have guys like Jack Sorensen, who's been out for Miami for a few weeks now, you need other guys to step up and make plays in the passing game. So they're going to look to other people. Next man up is always the mentality.
So with 11-13, 33 to go now in the fourth quarter. A 4th and 6 will be next up here for Miami, up 24-17 on Northern Illinois. As RedHawks here will probably bring out the punt team and Kyle Kramer. Well, Josiah, you and I do a podcast every week. It's called Press Box Thoughts from the Miami Student newspaper, and you had a chance to talk to Maurice Thomas.
Yeah, he was definitely looking forward to playing here this weekend. Like you mentioned before, he's definitely like a homegrown person growing up in Oxford area, so he was super excited to get out here again. His family was always coming to his games, but just having everybody else down here was just an electric atmosphere for him.
Yep. It's called Press Box Thoughts. We come out with it every Friday morning on SoundCloud.com/The Miami Student or the SoundCloud app. Just search The Miami Student. Press Box Thoughts, our 2nd episode up there right now. You can hear the chat with Maurice Thomas that Josiah did after practice on Wednesday of this week. And we interviewed Cordy Green, the Miami hockey captain, in episode 1 about their games.
A lot of great content on there.
Yep. So a new thing the newspaper's trying out, and they named us the host of it, and we're having a lot of fun. Jogging off the field on his own power is Andrew Homer, and he is holding his left arm close to his body, and so that will probably be an upper body injury.
Keep a close eye on that one throughout the rest of the game, see if he comes back.
He's now trying to squeeze his fingers on his left arm, and still hasn't sat down yet, though, on the sideline. As the training staff down there will walk him toward the medical tent, it looks like. And that is, in fact, where he's going. So Andrew Homer, the tight end, out for the meantime, and we'll bring in Kyle Kramer for a 4th down and 6 punt. High spiraling kick sends Tucker for a fair catch signal all the way back to the NIU 12-yard line. And that is where the Huskies will begin their next drive. A very impressive punt by Kyle Kramer, the 6'3", 215 redshirt senior.
Defense has a good chance here. You have them pinned back right now. Make sure you really keep them locked down in this position over here.
So the Huskies will get the ball at their own 12 with 11:26 to go in this fourth quarter. Childers back out there. He's 7 for 10 for 98 yards today. Sacked once. And on the ground, Childers 4 attempts for -5 yards.
Defense shifting around again.
Receiver on either side. Childers back for a pass. Fires it far side, and it's intercepted. There is a flag, though, on the far side. The pass got tipped at the line of scrimmage. It was brought in by the RedHawks, Sterling Weatherford. However, the flag is down. We'll see what that's about.
Offense is saying
it's defense, number 90.
It's an offside against Miami, and Sterling Weatherford will not get that interception as the pass was tipped at the line. Weatherford brought it in near the NIU 15, but ignore all that because it was an offside on the RedHawks.
And once again, I mean, we see it time and time again, a mental mistake in a critical situation. You get an interception, your defense off the field right there, and not only that, you're in the red zone going the other way. So that just cannot happen if you're Miami.
So the ball now on the NIU 17. They have it 1st and 5. I formation here. Childers claps once, sends a man in motion right to left. Hands it off, and up the right hash is Harbison. He will pick up 4. Not enough for the first down. It'll be a 2nd and 1 coming up. Clock moving, 10:53 to go in the fourth.
If you're Miami, don't let that last penalty deflate you, though. You've seen what you can do. You can make a play on the ball still. Don't let that setback deflate you. You have to keep coming out playing with that same intensity.
Intensity that they've done a pretty good job of keeping up here in the second half. Ball on the NIU 21, 2nd and 1. A receiver on either side. Childers in I formation. Man moves right to left, hands it off. Harbison up the right hash for a gain of 1. He'll be pushed back there. They'll actually say he got 2 on the rush, and it'll be a first down for the Huskies. The first down of the drive. So the Jays move there, and that is NIU's 17th first down of the day. RedHawks have 12. As the time of possession today heavily in favor of the Huskies. They've had it for about 28 minutes. RedHawks just 20 minutes, 40 seconds.
And that was a lot of that damage done in the first half.
Yeah. Harbison with a handoff here up the right sideline. RedHawks shove him out of bounds. After a gain of 3, he got out to the NIU 27. Sterling Weatherford for the tackle, and it'll be officially a 2nd down and 8 for the Huskies from the right hash. Crowd has decreased a little bit here in the 4th quarter, so now we're kind of down to your normal-sized Miami football crowd, if you will. Still was a pretty electric atmosphere in the first half. Receiver on either side here from the right hash. Childers is the man in the backfield. Harbison is dotting the I formation and moves left to right. Childers with a keep here. He's up the right side for NIU and will pick up a good 6 yards on the rush. Still short of the first down, but it's going to set up a 3rd and 3 from the NIU 31.
That time, he was still able to freeze the defense. The play was a little bit broken. The running back didn't quite get to him, but he was still able to freeze the defense enough. Get around them once again after they broke contain. Got some good yardage.
9 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. They'll sound that 3rd down bell, and the crowd will get into it again. As NIU bursts up to the line with 14 on the play clock, a receiver on the right. And a bunch formation, 3 men off the line on the left. Childers back with an empty backfield to pass. Rolls far side with the pocket collapsing. Fires one off to over the middle, and it's incomplete. Looking that time for the intended receiver downfield, Dennis Robinson. However, a flag is all the way back toward the line of scrimmage, and it came out in the middle of the play when Childers was scrambling.
See what the call is here.
So it would be a 4th and 3, but we'll see what the flag is all about.
Holding, offense, number 62. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
RedHawks decline a holding call against NIU, and it'll be 4th and 3.
And are you going to send the punt team out on the field? Good defense by Miami once again. Keep them on their side of the field.
So with 8:37 to go in the 4th quarter, NIU trailing 24-17. They're going to have to punt it. Matt Ferentz is on and gets the kickoff at the NIU 20-yard line. Maurice Thomas waiting far side of the field. He called for a fair catch, but it sails out of bounds. And the referee will spot this one at the Miami 30-yard line, and that's where the RedHawks will begin their next drive. As Gabbard and company back out there, they're up by 7, and they want to make that more with 8:29 to go in the 4th quarter. Each team with 3 timeouts remaining. And Brett Gabbard on the field today, the only quarterback to be in the game for the RedHawks, 13 for 24 for 231 yards in the air. And then last week against Western Michigan, Gabbard had 260.
I think one thing that's different about this performance is efficiency. Last week against Western Michigan, it was not nearly as efficient as Walker comes down with a catch there.
There's an efficient pass. Jalen Walker over the middle, able to get into NIU territory with a catch. Gain of 45, and with 8:20 to go, RedHawks have it 1st and 10 on the NIU 45. No huddle offense. Gabbard will clap and get the snap. He's going to hand off. Bester rolling far side, trying to move in toward the middle. Will get out across the 43-yard line, brought down at the NIU 42. And a pickup there of about 3 for Jalen Bester. But a great catch by Jalen Walker over the middle. And he has just been excellent today. 6 receptions for 121 yards. That's a 20-yard average per catch.
He's definitely filled that void at wide receiver.
Gabbard over the middle. A pass got tipped, and it's incomplete. As over the middle for NIU was number 50, Vinny Labuse. He tipped the pass up in the air. They had 3 Huskies in the area, but it landed between all 3 of them, and let's get lucky that time on the turnover. Gabbert still without an interception today. He threw 3 last week. It'll be 3rd and 7 from the NIU 42.
And that was very similar to the one that he threw last week. He throws it right at the defender, pretty much lets the defender get their hands right there on the ball. That should have been an interception, but they got lucky that time.
2 receivers right, 2 to the left. And Bester is next to Gabbert in the backfield. He's to his right. 6 on the play clock. Bester will move to Gabbert's left. Snap comes off on a clap. Gabbert over the middle, fires a shot, and Walker brings in another catch. This time down to the 25-yard line. RedHawks pick up 17 on the play. It'll be a 1st and 10. They convert it again.
The heavy rush did not pay off for NIU. Walker just beats the corner on the route, gets the ball.
They got it on a 3rd and 7. No huddle continues. Gabbert with a handoff this time. Bester up the middle, will be stopped at the line. Gained about a yard on the play, and with 7:20 to go in the 4th quarter, RedHawks will have a 2nd and 9, but Jalen Walker with his 7th catch of the day, and I think if you have to decide a player of the game at this point, it's him.
Definitely, for sure. He's made every single play possible, every catch. He's doing everything he can to get this win today.
Up to 138 yards now is Jalen Walker. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left for Gabbert. Collapse once, snap is back, empty backfield, pocket collapses. He's going to have to fire this one out the near sideline in order to avoid a sack. And there was a receiver in the area. It was Austin Robinson from Miami, so no foul on the play, but they'll have a 3rd and 9 from the 24.
NIU's pressure was just too much up the middle, came right down, collapsed the pocket. Gabbert had to get rid of it.
So with 6:49 to go now in the 4th quarter, RedHawks will need 9 yards for the 1st down. They're 7 for 14 on 3rd downs today. 2 receivers left and 2 to the right. Gabbert with a clap over to the sideline. He'll peek. As Bester will now become a receiver out of the backfield. So Gabbert with an empty backfield, rolling far side after the snap. Now he's going to keep it across the 20. And Gabbert will not get the 1st down. He's into the red zone. RedHawks will pick up about 6 on the play to set up a 4th and 3 from the NIU 19. And we'll see what they want to do here. So the special teams unit still not on. Now Sam Sloman slowly creeping on the field with Kyle Kramer, and the decision just made to bring on the field goal team.
There, you love Gabbert's ability to get out of the pocket and make the run, but you want to see him slide instead of taking that big hit at the end of the play.
Got to protect him. It'll be a 37-yard attempt for Sam Sloman, who made a 34-yarder earlier in the half. And he will attempt this one from the left hash where he made the last one. Snap is good, kick is up, and the kick will be good. Sam Sloman with another 3 points off his right foot, and with 5:57 to go in the 4th quarter, the RedHawks make it a 2-possession game. Miami on top 27-17 over the Huskies.
Great way to extend the lead heading into a break.
And so Sam Sloman now 2 for 3 in the field goal department today. The RedHawks convert again, and they lead it on Family Weekend over Northern Illinois by a score of 27-17. 5:57 to go in the 4th quarter, and we'll be back in just a moment. It's Miami Football on Red Hawk Radio. Back at Yager Stadium in Oxford on a gorgeous fall-autumn afternoon in southwest Ohio as Miami RedHawks looking to pick up win number 3 on the year. Josiah up 27-17 on Northern Illinois, and they got to shut it down here with 5:57 to go in the fourth.
This is exactly where the park coach Chuck Martin is telling their guys they have to finish. They got out to this good lead in the second half. Their offense came to life. Now it's time to close this game out. Do not give this team any hope. Don't let them drive the ball down the field, get a touchdown here.
Sam Sloman with the ball on the tee at the Red Hawk 35, raises the right arm up, marches forward, and will launch off the kick. High end over end. Cole Tucker will have to catch it, and he will do it in the end zone for a touchback. So NIU will begin the drive at their own 25. They have 3 timeouts and 5 minutes and 57 seconds of clock time to work with here. And the offense led by Marcus Childers, the redshirt junior out of Adairsville, Georgia. We'll march back out here and try to produce some points. Two receivers right and one to the left here for Childers. He's got a man to his left in the backfield and Trey Harbison. Childers back for another pass, rolls far side, nobody to go to. Pocket has collapsed. Childers will keep it up the far sideline across the 30. Tackle down there after a gain of 6. And it will be a 2nd down and 4 coming up. They are moving quickly now with 5:40 left and the clock running in the 4th quarter.
Miami has to be ready for that hurry-up offense. That's how it's going to be the rest of the way for them.
2 receivers right, 2 to the left here. Childers will throw a quick pass to the far side, almost intercepted, but it is a catch for Northern Illinois. Spencer Tears will get out of bounds with enough yardage for the 1st down, but I couldn't quite see the Redhawk that came in there, but just didn't quite time it right. Could have had a pick 6 maybe.
Yeah, and luckily for him, after that miss, the guy got out of bounds and he didn't turn the ball upfield and go for a touchdown.
Redhawk came in trying to make the catch on the run, moving toward the passer. Childers back now on 1st and 10 from the 38 to the near side, looking for Tucker, but the ball landed on the ground in front of him and he couldn't bring it in. Cole Tucker's been a pretty big player for Northern Illinois today offensively, as he's made 5 catches for 72 yards.
And definitely going later into this game, they want to get him the ball. He's one of their playmakers, so they want to make sure that the ball is in his hands. They want to see what he can do with it.
Also a big offensive returner for the Huskies as well on kicks and punts. 5:12 left in the 4th. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Childers back for a pass, throws near side. That was almost intercepted. Tucker to target again, and getting in front of that for Miami was Mike Brown, who tipped the ball in both hands but couldn't bring it in. And now it'll be a 3rd and 10 from the 38, but you got to imagine now is 4th down territory for NIU wherever they are in the field.
Yeah, I believe so right now. So Miami has to be ready to continue playing this type of defense right now.
They'll burst up to the line with 20 on the play clock. 2 receivers right and 2 to the left. A man in the right of the backfield with Childers, who claps once, claps twice, gets the snap, rolls back, quick pass near side. It is caught. We're getting immediately pushed back with Spencer Tears. Not enough for the 1st down. He got him out to the NIU 44. A pickup of 5, and it'll be 4th and 5, and they're going to go for it.
That kind of seemed like what they want to do. Just get 7 yards, set up a 4th and manageable.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Childers another pass play. He is looking long and then decides to keep it.
Breaks
a
it.
seam up the middle. Childers across the 50 all the way down to the Miami 40. Redhawks defensively on the run coverage there, but they break down. And Marcus Childers gets himself another 1st down in Redhawk territory.
When you have a scrambling quarterback like NIU does, the defense always has to be aware of his ability to run the ball, especially on a 4th and 5 like that.
1st and 10 from the Redhawk 40. Childers back to pass over the middle, and it's incomplete. That time looking for the intended target. It was number 89, Mitchell Brinkman. Actually, never mind. Daniel Crawford, the intended target. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Redhawk 40. 4:28 to go in the 4th quarter, and Miami leads it by 10. Ball here on the left hash for NIU, who breaks from the huddle. 2 receivers on either side for Childers, who has a man to his left here in the backfield. Childers claps twice, he gets the snap off, fires it near side, and it's a catch there, but immediately pushed back was Daniel Crawford, the 5'11", 200 junior out of Tampa, Florida. And it will be a loss, or no gain on the play for NIU. 3rd and 10 from the 40.
They're really flying to the ball right now. That's what you love to see if you're Chuck Martin.
3rd and 10 with 2 receivers on either side. Childers claps twice, gets the snap. He's going to roll through the middle on a keep. He got past the defense, and Childers still on his feet all the way down, past the 35 to the RedHawk 33. And another first down on the keep from Childers.
And the keepers are killing Miami right now. They're doing great in coverage, but they have to make sure they contain the quarterback too. The defensive line has to make sure they're setting the edges, keeping the middle tight.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Childers back to pass again. Throws near side. Quick slant play is caught down there by number 17, Dennis Robinson. He will get down to the 24-yard line. It'll be a 2nd and 6 with 3:37 to go in the quarter, or in the game, and the clock is moving. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left now. Childers with a man in the backfield. Claps twice, gets the snap. It's a handoff. And up the middle on the rush for NIU is number 21, Marcus Jones. As they go to him for the carry, he got them down to the 21. It'll be a 3rd and 3.
And if you're NIU, I don't think they're thinking field goals, so I think they're still in 4-down territory right now.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Childers back to pass. Quick slant play. It's a catch and brought in there by Crawford. He's going to try to get down to the 10. RedHawks eat him up there. Crawford still on his feet. It takes 6 red jerseys to get him down at the 10-yard line. And Northern Illinois putting together a very impressive drive. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 10 for the Huskies. And now we see a RedHawk defender on the field. Lying flat on his back at the near side 10-yard line. And I don't know who that is, Josiah, but it might be Barati again.
I think it is. But that time, you see, they kind of tried to go for a big hit instead of just wrapping him up and bringing him down to the ground. That allowed him to bounce off, regain control of the football, and get upfield for a first down.
So it's not confirmed yet, but Bart Barati might be down injured for the 2nd time today, as training staff will attend to the injured RedHawk. 3:02 to go now in the 4th quarter. RedHawks up 27-17. And the Huskies here will have it 1st and 10 from the Miami 10, so a 1st and goal. Each team with 3 timeouts, and so if you're Northern Illinois, you get any kind of points here, and then you'll have to go for an onside kick.
Preferably they want to get a touchdown. They probably want to do it within the next 30 seconds or so. That way you can set your defense up, kick the ball off, not actually have to do the onside kick that time. That is Barati.
Yep. Walks out the near sideline, being assisted by the Miami training staff. And Barati, who was injured in the first half, he came out of the game momentarily, back in for the second half, is injured again, it appears, for the RedHawks.
Offense breaks the huddle. It's a bit of a spread formation shotgun here.
Ball on the left hash, 1st and goal from the 10. Clapping twice, Childers gets off the snap, fires it far side of the end zone, and it's a catch. Touchdown, Northern Illinois. Cole Tucker brings it in.
That's a blown coverage right there. He tried to press up on him. Receiver just ducks right behind him, gets right open in his zone. Easy throw for the quarterback for a touchdown.
So the redshirt sophomore hometown boy out of DeKalb, Illinois, will put this one into the 1 possession category, as it's now 27-23 Miami. The extra point attempt coming here from Richardson, and he will knock it through to make it a 3-point game. And so Northern Illinois doing exactly what they wanted there, Josiah. 27-24 Miami, 2:44 left in the game.
And Mo Thomas, when I interviewed him earlier this week, he told me that this team wants to be MAC champions. If that's what you want, then this is the time to prove it. 2:44 to go in the game. Your team has a 3-point lead. Hold this ball for the rest of the game. Don't let the other team get the ball back.
It's a great point. So Northern Illinois will probably attempt an onside kick here, you might think, or they might kick it off to Miami with 3 timeouts left, try to stop the RedHawks and the clock.
Yeah, in this situation, I definitely see more of just a kickoff. You have all 3 of your timeouts here if you're Northern Illinois. Kick the ball off. Try and pin Miami back deep a little bit. That way, keep them on their side of the field. They don't get any type of field position.
The RedHawks have 3 timeouts in their arsenal as well. So it should be a pretty good ending to this one. 2:44 left in the 4th quarter, and the RedHawks up by 3. And then we'll go over to Goggin for the hockey game.
Tom says back deep, but it looks like Miami might be expecting that onside kick.
Yep. They're going to put Thomas back at the 15-yard line. He's the only one back there to return. Redhawks have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys at the line for an onside possible kick, but Richardson instead will boot this one as hard as he can out the back of the Miami end zone. And so Northern Illinois will let the Redhawks take control offensively here. They'll get it first and 10 from their own 25.
And Northern Illinois, they might be pretty happy about this opportunity. As we mentioned before, the running game kind of struggled a little bit going so far. So if you get this situation right now, you know what Miami wants to do. They want to run the football. So now they can really key in on that. Hopefully they can get some blocking going, get Jalen Bester out in some space, get some first downs.
So the Redhawks here will definitely be running the ball. Not that it matters, but 2 receivers left, and Bester is in the backfield with Gabbard. Bester gets the handoff up the middle, past the 35, gets down to the 38-yard line. It'll be a 2nd and 2 coming up, and NIU will not be calling a timeout, it looks like. 2:30 to go and the clock moving.
They're probably going to start calling those timeouts around the 2-minute mark.
Yep.
Start trying to save some time there for their offense.
And probably be a wasted timeout here with it being 2nd and 2. Redhawks will probably get 2 yards in the next 2 plays.
And if you're Miami, do not throw the football in this situation.
No.
Just keep it on the ground, fall forward.
Jalen Bester up to 31 yards in the game. But that is 2nd on the team rushing-wise behind Gabbard, who now has 42 after all those keeps. High formation, Bester behind Gabbard. They sent a man across, and it was a poorly timed snap.
Play.
All the way back to the 20 is Jalen Walker, as he was a receiver on the right side. He was moving right to left across the line as a man in motion. They snapped it off. The ball hit Walker before it could ever get to Gabbard. And then Walker followed the ball back all the way to the Miami 20-yard line. And Northern Illinois will smartly call a timeout before the Redhawks will attempt here what will be a 3rd and 15.
And, I mean, that's just not a very good play call at this time in the game. You don't really need to do a jet sweep. I say give the ball to Bester. He just got you 8 yards. Give it to him again. Let him get 2 more. Keep that clock moving. Get a first down. But instead you go back 13 yards. Give up a 3rd and 15 now.
I don't know why you have a man in motion on that play. Like, you're really trying to fool him that much. You know that Bester's going to get the ball.
Yeah, there's no need to have a man in motion that time. Too much of a risk for things like that to just happen there. And now Northern Illinois has a chance to have 1 timeout out of this whole situation instead of having none, which Miami would have preferred to have.
Redhawks trying to get to 3 and 4 overall in the year and 2 and 1 in the MAC East.
Heavy set.
Bester will get a handoff here for Gabbard up to the 20, and he will fall down right there.
So Northern Illinois is going to take that timeout. About 1:45 to go, and this is exactly what they wanted.
They called a timeout. The whistle blew, and then about 5 seconds went off the clock, so they're definitely going to have to review how much time is left. Yep. Clock reads 1:40 right now, and they want 9 more seconds on it.
Only 2 seconds went off the clock really in that whole span of gameplay. So if you're Northern Illinois, you're probably in a pretty happy position. Miami's defense has to come out, hold this down right now.
So it'll be a 4th and 14. The Redhawks with the ball on their own 21, and Kramer is going to be out to punt it. Northern Illinois will get the ball down by 3 with 1:49 to go in the 4th quarter, and they have a timeout.
And this is where playing not to lose is going to really come into effect. If you're Miami, do not press off. Don't just play back and play safe. You have to make sure you continue being aggressive and forcing the action for Northern Illinois.
Kramer gets the ball, spiraling punt, goes across midfield. Tucker will catch it. It's a fair catch at the NIU 41. And that is where the Huskies will begin this next drive here. That could possibly win the game. They need a field goal to tie. A touchdown will put them in the lead. And
Miami with all 3 timeouts.
1:44 to go in the 4th quarter. Redhawks have all 3 timeouts.
If you're Miami, avoid using those timeouts. Avoid them.
They are up 27-24 over Northern Illinois, with the ball on their own 41 and a $1:44 to work with.
This is the time. You have to make sure you're mentally sharp in this area. No penalties, no 12-man on the field. You have to make sure that you're ready to go right now. 2
receivers left, 1 to 2 to the right here for Childers. The man in the backfield with him. Claps once he gets the snap, rolls back. Now going far side with a pass, and it was incomplete. Dropped at the far sideline. Old Tucker, the intended target that time, would have put him into Miami territory. It's 2nd and 10 from the NIU 41. 1:38 to go.
And Barbarati is back out there once again.
All right. Maybe not 100%, but he will help the defense. Northern Illinois on the huddle here, 20 on the play clock. They will have 2 receivers on either side, and it will be number 21 for NIU, Marcus Jones in the backfield along with Childers. Childers gets this snap, rolls back, looks near side, fires a pass, and it's caught. Spencer Tears brought it in, not enough for a first down, gets to the near side of the field. The Redhawks were able to tackle him quickly. It's a pickup of 8 for NIU, 3rd and 2 from the 49. Clock is running with 1:21 to go.
Watch that quarterback scramble. Runs are not out of the equation right now.
Childers back, pocket collapses, and he will go down at the Miami 42-yard line. Childers is sacked by number 17, Miles Reed, the linebacker.
4th and 9.
Clock moving with 1:05 to go.
This
4th
is
down
for the
for
win right
NIU.
now. This is for the win.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Childers with a man to the backfield.
No
Claps
scrambles.
once, gets the snap, fires it far side. Incomplete on the pass. Cole Tucker, the intended target on the far side. Number 3, Mike Brown with the defense as the pass landed right at Tucker's feet. And the Miami RedHawks will probably hold on with 52 seconds to go, up by 3 over Northern Illinois.
Here you go. Just take the knee. You're done. Game over right now.
A very short-lived drive for the Huskies, and they just seem to not have much chemistry as Childers in as the backup quarterback. Remember, their starter, Ross Bowers, came out of the game in the first half with what was probably a concussion. And so now the Redhawks with the ball on the NIU 42-yard line, up by 3. The Huskies do have a timeout. So the knee is taken by Gabbert, and Northern Illinois will use their final timeout now. They will stop the clock with 49 seconds to go, but the Redhawks will probably just need to take 2 more knees, and that will be it as the entire crowd remaining stands on their feet and claps to cheers for a Miami football team that is probably going to go 3-4 overall and 2-1 in the MAC, and they will tie Kent State for first place in the MAC East.
This is exactly the type of win they needed before heading onto the road against Kent State. Now they should be in a good position to take the lead in the MAC East.
Whistle blows again after the timeout. Gabbert in the victory formation. Takes another knee. So now they'll need just 1 more here before we call it a day and head over for the hockey game. Kent State losing today to Ohio 45-38. So the Redhawks would tie them atop the MAC East with this win. And both of them will go at it next week at Kent State, a 3:30 kickoff Saturday. That's the Redhawks' next game. Their next home game against Bowling Green, November 13th at 8.
And they will hold on to the Mallory Cup for the 2nd straight year.
15 seconds left. Gabbert will be in the victory formation again. The final snap, the final knee, and the Miami RedHawks hold on to beat Northern Illinois on Family Weekend. 27-24 your final score. And the Miami RedHawks are tied for atop the division in the MAC East. A division win here on Family Weekend, and they'll keep the Mallory Cup for the 2nd straight year over the Northern Illinois Huskies.
Great team win. Saw a lot of growth from last week. Good bounce back. Now they're heading on the road to Kent.
Play of the game, probably Josiah would be Jalen Walker for the Redhawks, the wide receiver today. Coming up with 7 receptions for 138 yards. That averages for 19.7 yards per catch, his longest 40 today. And the Redhawks offense very slow in the first half. They really got it going in the second half, and you got to give credit to whatever adjustments were made at halftime because this offense came out rolling right away.
I think the biggest thing was them switching to that high-tempo offense instead of sticking with the kind of more moderate-paced offense that we saw early on in the first half. You saw Brett Gabbert really flourish in that setting. Got them out to a 27-24 lead, never came back.
So again, the Redhawks' next game will be at Kent State. And that will be Saturday at 3:30 Eastern Time. Their next home game, November 13th. And that will be a weeknight game against Bowling Green, slated for 8 o'clock. Northern Illinois next week. They will head back home and take on an Akron team Saturday at 3:30 Eastern Time back in DeKalb. Huskies fall to 2-5 overall. They're 1-2 in the division, and defending MAC champions struggling at the middle point of the year. Miami still, though, in contention for the MAC East. And the RedHawks with a huge win today on Family Weekend over Northern Illinois. So our next broadcast will be in just a few hours, about 2.5 hours from now. The hockey game gets Ferris State over at the Goggin Ice Center. Luke Westpoli and I will be calling that one for you, and we will join you there on the same YouTube channel here on Red Hawk Radio. Hope you'll join us tonight for RedHawks trying to go for their first home sweep since October 2018 on the ice. So for Josiah Collins, the rest of our Red Hawk Radio crew, my name is Patrick Geshan, saying so long and good afternoon from Yager Stadium on a beautiful one from Oxford. RedHawks winning on the gridiron 27-24 over Northern Illinois. We'll have a good afternoon, and we'll see you tonight for the hockey game. Listen to Miami football on Red Hawk Radio.